felony counts, but is still smiling. Whitney Cheatham's mugshot has gone viral on social media due to the fact that she's posing with a smile in that photo. Cheatham is now facing charges that are something that law enforcement frowns upon: distribution of a controlled substance, drug trafficking, as well as practicing medicine without a license, and forgery. Cheatham has been running the Infusion Wellness Spa in Coleman. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586 368, Equal Housing Lender.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Ask yourself, in a democracy?
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Beautiful Monday out of Montgomery, Alabama. And you know, the beautiful thing is when you expect very little of politicians, sometimes they might surprise you. In studio with me, you should be here all day, which I like very much. Troy Carrico is back. How you doing today?
Top of the morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Life is good. No Eddie Bader today, though.
Yeah,
he had
I saw that.
real estate, and you know his motto.
Always be closing.
Thank you,
ABC,
Alec.
baby.
Always be closing.
Looks like you moved him out permanently over there. What's...
No, he's still here in spirit.
Okay.
There's still a little touch of Eddie in the room.
Okay, all right.
But so as I was preparing for the show, you're seeing all these European leaders arrive there at the White House.
Yeah.
From the Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni.
Yeah, she's great.
What do they call this? Is that a MILF? Is that what that is? I shouldn't ask that.
Well, I don't know if she's a mother. I guess she
Right.
could be a cougar.
Right. She's definitely a cougar.
Okay, we know that. We can establish that much.
And then the head of Germany, the prime minister of the UK, the head of Finland, the head of NATO, the head of the European Union, all walking in. Right now, they're awaiting Zelensky arriving at the White House. This is all to, try to hammer together a peace deal after the big summit between Trump and Putin in Alaska on Friday. I think what Trump said on Friday is there's no deal until there's a deal. And a lot of folks in the press, I don't necessarily trust. We could go to some Rubio clips where they're saying, well, the reason the Europeans are coming is to help defend Zelensky and their interest. And it's like, no, we invited them. What is wrong with you? And it really is like a competing war of narratives at this point.
It is. It really is. And I think the world tires of it. I know that here's the problem I see, though, as we go through this progression. We can talk. I'm sure we'll talk in depth about this. I feel like Zelensky's in a kind of in a no-win situation.
Yeah.
There's a very real possibility he may not survive through the process of acquiescing to this. There's internal forces that would work against that and possibly either remove him or worse than that, kill him. So,
well, and while I was preparing and watching all the dignitaries arrive, and it's quite a presentation, and all the, what is that called? I guess that's
an honor guard.
The honor guard.
That's an honor guard. Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen one that big. I guess that's for
it's a
White
detail.
House.
It looks like it's probably a large scale detail. It's more than just probably the you got that right there. That dude standing there is not a Marine. For my Marines listening to him, that he may look like one. He's not. That's third infantry. The old guard. Those are the guys that guard the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Okay. Oh,
so that's who that is.
Talk about
you've got a full forces there. Here's your Marine over here. You got a Lance Corporal over here.
Yeah.
You've got cellular soldiers. I see Air Force flag down there. So yeah, it looks like a pretty grand procession.
And I've been going through this. It's a little off the beaten path. I'll get back to the point. Been going through a book that's about a history of Erasmus of Rotterdam and Martin Luther, and sort of their parallel tracks and how they met head on during the Reformation period out of the Renaissance. And I was thinking, is there anything in modern day comparable? I'm at a part where Luther just entered into a monastery as a friar, and the amount of attention to detail and how they carry themselves and the vows they take, the way they say the words during the Eucharistic liturgy, it's very how they have to report on each other, so-and-so laughed or so-and-so burped or so-and-so didn't say the words correctly, or he took an extra ration of water or whatever, the stringent control. And I'm wondering what's that in modern day. I'm sure there are still modern monks, but I would say if you're guarding the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the attention to detail is on par, if not more stringent.
I would say that some of your special details like that, and I think you can do it. I think you can parallel it two ways in the military. One, your special details, your Marine Corps embassy guards that are the face of the receipt of and security of the embassies are very, very. It's a very strict environment for them, and they have a very, very defined role and a subculture within the Marine Corps of the Marine Guards. And then the Old Guard is another one like that. You also have ceremonial units, their job is they're band. They play the drums and fife. If you've seen those, there's an actual army band that does that. So I think you get some of that. That's more traditional, but I would say culturally inside the military, units like the Rangers, Force Recon Marines, SEALs, Air Force PJ, Parajump Rescue guys, they have a very tight-knit expectations are everything's strack, everything's got to be just right. So I think that there's modern day parallels, but what you were talking about with Martin Luther, it's actually mind-boggling when you think about it, is everything is controlled under that environment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Well, and you volunteer for it, and you got to work to be in it.
You surrender.
Now, as again, watching all the dignitaries arrive, I believe we are now seeing Zelensky pull up in the SUV, Trump himself waiting for him. I think it was Monica Crowley who met all the other European dignitaries.
Yeah, I did see that. I found that interesting. I didn't see Trudeau. Did you see Trudeau?
I didn't see Trudeau. I didn't see.
He probably went through the back door.
I didn't see Macron either, which is interesting.
They had to go through the back door.
Oh, Zelensky at least put on a jacket.
He looks sharp.
Yeah, he was wearing a T-shirt meeting earlier with some U.S. delegation.
I saw that.
He's now, I think he got criticized. He's now got a jacket on. Actually, the jacket's a little better. I'll admit that's a little better.
He looks
very Eastern, though.
Oh, yeah. It's very almost like Nehru, like a Nehru jacket there.
Okay, so Zelensky's there. The Europeans are there. We'll see how that goes. But as I'm watching all this morning, this broke. Hamas agrees to ceasefire.
Yeah.
Just hours after Trump backed Israel's push to crush Hamas, the group accepted a Gaza ceasefire. The deal includes the release of more hostages, marking a major shift after months of deadlock. Let me click on this. Trump had warned, I believe just earlier today. Let me read it. He says, "We will only see the return of the remaining hostages when Hamas is confronted and destroyed," the president wrote. "The sooner this takes place, the better chances of success will be. Remember, I was the one who negotiated and got hundreds of hostages freed and released into Israel. I was the one who ended 6 wars in just 6 months. I was the one who obliterated Iran's nuclear facilities. Play to win or don't play at all. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Right after Trump puts out that message, the Israelis are ready to go.
Yeah.
You get the ceasefire and more hostages release agreement. So maybe forced talks, power talks.
Well, I think you know how I feel about that. I'm a firm believer of Machiavellian politics. And I think that, I wrote an op-ed last week on the real truth of what's going on in Gaza, in East Jerusalem, and in West Bank. There was, I don't know if you saw this little blurb that went out over the weekend, kind of hidden on Saturday. South Sudan is in talks and agreements to transfer Palestinians to South Sudan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And when I wrote that article, I have friends that work in State Department, and they gave me a tip that, hey, this stuff's been underway. It's going to be financed by UAE. It's going to be financed by Bahrain, and it's going to be displaced out into probably the Levant, out to eastern, southeastern Syria, and places like South Sudan, maybe even Yemen. I don't know, Joey, how you feel, but as a Christian, as a God-fearing Gentile, I have very strong feelings. But I'm going to keep those aside for a minute.
Sure.
You got a strip of land the size of, I don't know, Delaware, half of Delaware. And you cram all this culture into there, and you got all this open land with people that speak your language, share your culture. Give them their own, give them their own, carve their own place, buy it, and 80% of the problems that are in the Middle East will be solved.
Well,
overnight.
and my calculation on whether it's Israel and Gaza and the long-standing Israel-Palestinian issue, or right now when I look at Russia and Ukraine, maybe it's a crude calculation, but the way I view it is the stronger horse gets to make more demands.
That's what Machiavelli says.
Right. And so, I think how many wars have the Israelis won? And what keeps happening with the peace processes we had it is the Israelis end up taking more land, which the Palestinians hate. And then the Palestinian leaders end up with a crap load more money, which somehow doesn't go to their people.
That's the problem.
And that's been going on for several generations now. It's like one old man. It's been 80 plus years. Same thing with Russia and Ukraine. Okay, you look at the current line of contact, you look at the way things have been developing. I think both sides, Rubio was saying this over the weekend, any peace agreement that isn't surrender means concessions by both sides. But I suspect the Ukrainians will have to give more concessions than the Russians give.
Unfortunately, they say people can pee on your leg and tell you it's raining. I think that's kind of what's getting ready to come on. But I want to back up for a minute. One of the things that's unique about the Palestinian situation, the PLO, which originally helped found that nation state, quasi, we'll call it. Those were not, listen, they weren't Palestinians. They were Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood. That's who they were. And everything that you have in the Middle East today, ISIS, heck out Arabia, all these JEC, all these different groups, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, PIJ, they all trace their roots to the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yep.
And that, my friend, that has been the source of woe for the Palestinians since day one, and it will never cease.
Well, they've essentially been the vanguard, the tip of the spear to resist the Jewish presence in our holy land.
To remove the Jewish presence.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where I think concessions and realistic things can be done by Israel and I think there have been good faith efforts of, we want y'all to have your own state, but that is not played out very well, because I don't think the point is to get rid of the state of Israel for a lot of those players. It's not about negotiating, living peacefully alongside your Jewish neighbor by any means.
You saw how much money was spent on the tunnel systems.
Right.
None of that went to the people, Joe.
Right.
Could you imagine transferring that? They might have. I don't see a two-state solution. They tried it. It didn't work. And Machiavelli, you said it best. Never let a weaker nation make demands on a stronger nation. It's just that simple.
And so we're back to where we were months ago. Oh, wow. He's got like a true legit jacket and collar on.
Yeah,
wow. He's dressing a little fancier.
Actually, you know what? He may have wore this on his show or on TV when he was a comedian. Like with his black tie there.
But they're back in the Oval Office. Man, the Trump Oval Office is gold, baby. Look at the gold.
That
all over the place.
That's an addition. And that's very Russian looking.
Yeah, well, that's Trump through and through. He puts
know.
gold on everything.
Gold.
And I will say the Library of Congress has finishes like that all over.
They
it.
do.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Outstanding.
Now, let me see if I can find this because it's happening live. This is the same room where that huge blow up was.
Yeah.
And what JD Vance, like, you never even said thank you.
Yeah.
You never even said thank you. So, here it is. Let's tune into this a little bit and see how the back and forth is going. Again, this is happening live. Vladimir Zelensky and President Donald J. Trump in the Oval Office. Let's listen in together.
War with Russia almost immediately, if he wants to, which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat, and I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And, is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed, and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week. I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason. A big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
And as you met with Putin on Friday, today you've got President Zelensky here. As you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here to be, look, this isn't my work.
He's trying to keep it chill. Like, let's just get through this.
Had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended, and we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or?
That's a heck of a question.
That's so loaded.
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small bomb, 1 year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support American and European partners. And we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war. And we are ready for trilateral, as President said. This is a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Man, so far everybody's behaving themselves.
Well, I think that he's been, let's talk about the last incident with the JD Vance incident.
Oh yeah,
He got bad intel from some Democratic and from some anti-Trump elements.
Yes,
but the thing about it is, anyways, here's what I believe. I believe he is I think both of them are kind of in an unenviable position. Putin and Zelensky, simply because internally you've invested so much into this now. But one's an existential threat. The other is a imperialistic.
Yeah, violence, especially the violence on the scale of wars, tends to sing its own song. Yep. I think anybody who's been in the midst of it understands that.
Yep.
I just understand it abstractly. I feel like you should give me, the great scene in Good Will Hunting where Robin Williams sits him down on the bench. I feel like, especially in matters of war, you need to give me that speech.
Come here, son.
You can read about it in a book,
but you got to live it.
We got a very quick break here. We'll come back to what's going on in the Oval Office after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Let's face it, what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. Here at Adams Drugs, we love our customers. We're here with Al and Amy Steinecker, Adams Drugs customers. Amy, please tell us how easy it was to transfer your prescriptions to Adams Drugs from the big box store.
It was one of the easiest things I've ever done. I went into the pharmacy on Bond Road and spoke with the pharmacist and told him we had not been happy where we'd been and would love to transfer our prescriptions. And he said, I'll be happy to call them. And that was that. And now when I call, I just say I need to have a prescription filled, and it's just that simple.
Al, what has your customer service been like at Adams Drugs?
It's amazing. You walk in, you're not standing in a line. They speak to you, call you by name, and say, what do you need today, Al, or Mr. Steinecker? It's wonderful. It doesn't get any better.
Please come into any Adams Drugs location and let us earn your business. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. They've got this great new model where it's a monthly payment, like you get on a monthly subscription with them. The basic subscription involves basic pest control protection. You can add on top of that for a reasonable fee, termite inspection, year-round protection there of termites, mosquito protection, getting rid of those nasty mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy your backyard or front porch. And of course, they can help you once you get that relationship going. If you are in a jam, like something freaky happens, like a huge wasp nest outside the shed or right near the front door. I've had that happen.
Oh, man.
And that's no fun.
They drop down on you.
And when you work with Pest Pro Services, you know you're working with great local folks, always giving back to the community. When you spend your money with them monthly, you know that's staying around here in the River Region. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com. or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, or call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. And Troy Carrico in the studio with me. And happening live right now in the Oval Office, Trump and Zelensky. So I say we keep going with this for a little bit more. How about that?
I think that's a good idea. I think there's a...
Send American peacekeepers to Ukraine.
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine, and we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you rule that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help when it comes to security. There's going to be a lot of help. It's going to be good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe, but we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved. Yes.
Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes?
What was that?
Well, look, the war.
What was that?
When it ends, I can't tell you.
I guess we'll get to that here in a second.
And this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it. and they'll be talking about it for a long time, but they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan, we're talking about the big places. When you look at, you just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran.
Now we're a little behind live, but it looks like things are going well. I guess we'll get to it here in a second.
What was the finger point? And he's like, hey, shout out to you back here.
Yeah, I think it's this one reporter is a little bit of a stir.
Yeah,
so,
he's just like,
let's keep listening.
And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Lifeline guarantees or like special envoy put forward.
Thanks, Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries and great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace. Go ahead, please. In the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine cedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people of the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter from the First Lady. And the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin. And it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children and the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelensky?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves. Probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt it was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him, and. She did ask me to say, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end, and she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
Last week,
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you. First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing. That's the one that attacked you last time.
I remember.
No, my first question for you, President Zelensky.
In the same suit.
You in the same suit.
Maybe yours.
He's a comedian.
Real quickly, upon peace, God willing, we get peace. Are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances. And a little bit, we need to work in the parliament. Because during the war, you can't have elections. But we can do security. We need, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say during the war, you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody,
the volume's better.
No more elections. Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
No, this is
no. Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask this. But do you think the American media really doesn't even want a peace deal? Because they've seen they've been so critical of you every step of the way as you lead the charge for peace.
It's an amazing phenomenon. I said that if in the settlement you got Moscow, St. Petersburg, and thousands of miles around them, they would say I made a bad deal. The level of hatred and animosity is incredible. Not with all. I mean, we have great people up here. We also have terrible people up there that I think are told what to say. But, in solving all of these wars, they don't even write about it. I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. What the one I'm talking about, it was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do, no matter what, and this is not anything to do with you. It's probably to your advantage in a certain way. But no matter what I do, no matter what deal I make, from my standpoint, you'll come out good. Maybe President Putin will come out good. But they'll say Trump was absolutely horrible. It's just it. And I've lived with that for a long time. I've lived with it since just before the first election. I used to get great publicity. Now I get the worst publicity anyone's ever gotten in office, but I won in a landslide, so that people understand. They're the only ones that count ultimately. But I've also had great reporters. I've had journalists that are very good. But it's very sad when you do the right thing. As an example, they said, because of the fact that Vladimir Putin came to American soil, this was a tremendous defeat for Donald Trump. No, it was really wonderful that he did it. It was a hard thing for him to do, to be honest with you. It was the opposite of what they said, but they said it. Now, if he didn't come, they'd say that was also bad for Trump. Yeah, there's no way. And there's just a great dishonesty of the press, and I think that's why it's lost its credibility. Its credibility is at an all-time low. We have a thing going on right now in D.C. We went from the most unsafe place anywhere to a place that now friends are calling me up, Democrats are calling me up, and they're saying, sir, I want to thank you. My wife and I went out to dinner last night for the first time in 4 years. And Washington, D.C. is safe. And you did that in 4 days. I'll tell you, it's safe. I had another friend of mine.
Again, folks, this has been happening live in the Oval Office. Sit down like you saw the last time where it kind of blew up a little bit in everybody's face. Zelensky got some really bad advice. But so far, it looks like everything is peachy. Everybody is on the same page. Yeah. And speaking of what Trump just brought up there, Attorney General Bondi announced over 300 arrests have been made in D.C. and counting. Just last night, our federal and D.C. law enforcement partners made 68 arrests and seized 15 illegal firearms. Homicide suspects, drug traffickers, and more are being charged. I'll continue to stand with you as we make D.C. safe again. And they had people posting video riding around D.C. late at night saying, where is all the usual stuff we see? And what's the number? I think it was something like 80 different 75 homeless encampments have been cleared since Trump's executive order on make D.C. safe and beautiful. This is according to the New York Post. 80 graffiti sites have also been cleaned up by the Capitol Hill parks, folks. So it's amazing with a little bit of willpower how much you can change things.
I'm thinking that if they would just get maybe they could bring in some of the engineer units that have the pontoon bridges, and they could just take the homeless and push them over into Maryland. That's a really good place for them. In the winter, Baltimore's a wonderful town to be in.
Yeah.
I'm joking, but I'm just saying, where are they displacing them to?
Well, and you got to wonder, how did you let it go to where? Because folks were saying it wasn't just like under bridges and here or there. Like it's in every major city. It was like in the middle of parks, all over the place.
Joey, it's right on the mall, the National Mall. You go, they're camped in. They put tarps over the bushes and they hollow out the bush area and. Right there in the middle of your mess. There's a Smithsonian kids. Oh, look, there's a naked homeless man.
But so far with this Oval Office meeting, it looks like no blow-ups. It is a little hopeful that they're saying it looks like we'll get to a trilateral meeting very quickly. And it could be because, he doesn't get a ceasefire out of that summit with Putin, but they did stay and talk for a while. It looks like it's like, okay, let's pursue it. We might get a full-on deal.
I think that the conversation between Trump and Putin, and if I'm wrong, which there's a very strong possibility that this could still be kabuki dancing, as they say.
Sure.
I think Trump has made it pretty clear. If you want these things, then you will cease. And here's the bigger question, though, Joey. What is the cessation terms?
Right.
If you so much as act out again, then the full force of NATO should be coming down upon you, So
what did you think of the, I got to hit a break here, but what did you think of the B-2 flyover as him and Putin are walking on the tarmac?
Yeah. Did you happen to notice Putin? He kind of oh shit, here's an airstrike.
Exactly.
Airstrike. Holy cow. But yeah, no, it was impressive. Very impressive. And all the Raptors setting out there are much better than their SU-57.
Yeah, and so when I read in like the mainstream press, this is a huge victory for Putin, and it's like, what are y'all? They live in a fantasy world.
I know.
Like, and I heard you loud and clear, and I've heard a lot of folks loud and clear that the Russians aren't what they thought they were, what a lot of the world thought they were. They've been shown as much weaker, and they have been deteriorated over time. But you watch like Piers Morgan had on a bunch of people the other day. It took the libertarian comedian Dave Smith to be like, what are we doing here? You're like a former 4-star general. You're this or that. And all you're doing is insult comedy against Putin. What does this do to improve anybody? Like, why aren't we cheering on actually ending the slaughter?
Did you see what Putin did on his way out out of Alaska? I sent you the article on Reuters.
He gifted
a Euro motorcycle to some local resident. Here, and listen, you know that thing's gonna be falling apart in about a year.
Oh yeah, man! Don't even ride it. Put that in a museum.
Got a sidecar. You see the sidecar?
I see it. That's awesome.
Circa 1946.
Man, I can see Steve McQueen driving that thing right now. Okay, well, we got to hit this break. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting, Montgomery.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing.
Hey, this is Robbie Clark. Stay cool with a tune-up with Clark Heating, Air and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give us a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's the start of a new week, but our intense heat and humidity continues. Good bit of sunshine today, up to about 96 for the high temperature, but the heat index will be near that 105 danger range. Low tonight will be in the 70s. I've got us around 75. And any storms that do pop up in the afternoon heat will be extremely isolated in nature today, tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. And again, through Thursday, high temperatures in the middle 90s with those triple-digit heat indices, 70s at night. Rain chances perhaps a little better by the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting, and their River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his fantastic team are ready to help you out with that roof of yours. You know, your house is probably the biggest investment you're going to have in life, and a big part of your house, well, of course, there's the foundation, but then there's that thing above your head, your roof. And I mean, how many times do you actually climb up there and check it out? Even if you got your big old butt up there, what are you actually looking for? Now, there are obvious problems sometimes, like a tree fell in your house, or there's a brand new skylight nobody planned for. But if it's more of a subtle problem, like gaskets dry rotting on a metal roof, or they're starting to get that wear and tear on those shingle roofs, they're going to pick up on it. They're River Region Contracting early, where it's going to cost a lot less to fix.
Right.
And when you find problems early, that's when your insurance company is not going to fight you, saying you were negligent, you should have caught this earlier. So why not get inspections done by River Region Contracting on a regular basis? And the beautiful thing is their inspections are always free.
What are you waiting for?
Completely and totally free. Say they do find an issue, they'll write up that estimate for free, and they're insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that claims process and make it a swift and easy experience. So y'all check them out today. Again, that's River Region Contracting. Call them at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd and the great team there that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. It looks like the press conference has ended.
Yes.
The sit down went well without any major fireworks like the last time. It actually looks like they were in good spirits, chuckling with one another. Though the frame I've got it paused on here.
Yeah.
You can see through like both men are dog tired. They are. This is high stakes as it gets in politics. And hopefully something could actually be done. And that to me is what drives me nuts. The question about the press and how much they seem to be against peace is absolutely true. Again, they live in a different world.
Well, you know, it's like Brian and I talked about months ago on the podcast. The problem with liberalism, the problem with globalism, there's many problems. Leftists, the left and all their ideas and nouveau philosophies, they want the world to be this way, but the real world is nothing like it empirically. And they want to govern with that philosophy that the world is that way, and it is not.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just
think
not
of the fallacy
running up against reality is what your problem
Cartesian
is.
dilemma. Which way am I going?
But so good. Trump saying chance for trilateral meeting with Putin. Yeah, that went smoothly. Thank God.
Yes.
But here's an example of the press, and one of my least favorite people in the press, Margaret Brennan. And again, Margaret has mastered the skill of sneering and emoting in the correct way.
Yeah.
But in this one, this is just the way they frame questions. It's just so dishonest. And it's based on not even having inside information. I try, especially on these big foreign policy things, and I've learned, I was a little nerding out on it at the beginning of the Russia-Ukraine war, but I've kind of learned like, oh, everybody's kind of wrong. Like you can go with somebody, but everybody's kind of wrong in their predictions about this thing. So maybe we should just wait and see. And especially when you're talking about like shuttle diplomacy, closed door, it's only the top principals in the room. You don't know what's going on.
No.
Anything that's leaking out to me is very suspicious. So here's Margaret Brennan trying to weave her yarn, talking to Secretary of State Rubio. This is over the weekend.
Concern from the Europeans that President Zelensky is going to be bullied into signing something away. That's why you have these European leaders coming as backup tomorrow. Can you?
No, it isn't. That's not why they're
them?
coming as back. That's not true. No, but that's not why that's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're not coming.
February Oval Office
they're coming
meeting
here tomorrow
in front of television cameras where President Zelensky.
Do you know how many meetings we've had since then?
Oh no, I know, and I was just up in Alaska watching the one with
then.
Vladimir Putin where a red carpet rolled out.
No, but it was Zelensky. We've had more meetings. We've had one meeting with Putin and like a dozen meetings with Zelensky. So but that's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're coming here tomorrow because we've been working with the Europeans. We talked to them last week. There were meetings in the UK over the previous weekend.
And they said President Trump was going to demand a ceasefire
as early as Thursday. No. But you said that they're coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're not coming here tomorrow. Oh, this is such a stupid media narrative that they're coming here tomorrow because Trump is going to bully Zelensky into a bad deal. We've been working with these people for weeks on this stuff. They're coming here tomorrow because they chose to come here tomorrow. We invited them to come. We invited them to come. The president invited them to come.
But the president told those European leaders last week that he wanted a ceasefire. The president went on television, said he would walk out of the meeting if Vladimir Putin didn't agree with one. He said there would be severe consequences if he didn't agree to one. He said he'd walk out in 2 minutes. He spent 3 hours talking to Vladimir Putin, and he did not get one. So there's
because obviously things happened during that meeting. Well, because obviously look, our goal here is not to stage some production for the world to say, oh, how dramatic, he walked out. Our goal here is to have a peace agreement to end this war, okay? And obviously we felt, and I agreed, that there was enough progress, not a lot of progress, but enough progress made in those talks to allow us to move to the next phase. If not, we wouldn't be having Zelensky flying all the way over here. We wouldn't be having all the Europeans coming all the way over here. Now understand and take with a grain of salt, I'm not saying we're on the verge of a peace deal, but I am saying that we saw movement, enough movement to justify a follow-up meeting with Zelensky and the Europeans, enough movement for us to dedicate even more time to this. You talk about the sanctions. Look, at the end of the day, if peace is not going to be possible here, and this is just going to continue on as a war, people will continue to die by the thousands. The president has that option to then come in and impose new sanctions. But if he did this now, the moment the president puts those additional sanctions, that's the end of the talks. You've basically locked in at least another year to year and a half of war and death and destruction. We may unfortunately wind up there, but we don't want to wind up there. We want to wind up with a peace deal that ends this war so Ukraine can go on with the rest of their lives and rebuild their country and be assured that this is never going to happen again. That's the goal here. We're going to do everything possible to make that happen if it's doable. It will require both sides to make concessions. It will require both sides to get things they're asking for. That's how these deals are made, whether we like it or not.
God, and that's so refreshing, especially in response to that ridiculous framing and that question.
Listen, she throws things, as we used to say, throw crap on the wall, see if it sticks. And she's making a man miserable somewhere. You just, you know, her husband or significant other's like, she's sitting at dinner, she scowls at him.
Oh yeah. Now, and Trump now saying he'll call Putin after today's meetings. You know, Rubio says, and that's wise of him to say we're not on the cusp. Don't telegraph it, but I think something did happen in that summit where they're like, so we see daylight. Go for it.
I
run
concur.
at it.
They're all in right now. They're all in.
So we shall see. And again, earlier today, as all this is going on, a ceasefire with Hamas and Israel right before the Israelis were about to invade big time.
Right.
Hamas and Trump backed it. Hamas said, "Oh, we cry uncle," and they haven't, unconditionally surrendered or anything. But they are releasing more hostages. They are calling for a deal. I believe Witkoff has been working overtime, gotten the last second through the Qataris. So hopefully if you could stabilize that, and you were telling me off air, there is some stuff happening behind the scenes where others say Gulf Arabs are coming in, and this is in the works. That first big Middle East trip Trump took was about everybody getting on the same page of this issue.
You know, what's funny is I think you look at Hamas, right, and they've lost basically control over it. They really don't speak with authority other than they have the hostages, and because Israel brilliantly has hired gangs to control certain areas now and can contest in urban warfare the Hamas operatives. So yeah, it's very interesting what's going on there.
We got to hit this next break. We'll be right back, folks. Hopefully with Austin Baranko of Invista Advisors.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Hi, this is Jeff Mallinson with Georgia Floors Direct, and I want to talk to you about Blue Water Broadcast and how they've helped my business spread the word. As every small business owner, I have to look at my advertising dollars carefully, and Blue Water Broadcast helps me get the most for every dollar I spend. I'm so glad to be a part of Blue Water Broadcasting and what they bring to Montgomery.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me.
Yep.
And this part of the program, Austin Branco normally joins us over the phone. Can't talk today. He's busy, but he'll be back on Wednesday. And if you are looking for a firm, like Austin Branco heads up the brokerage desk there at Invista Advisors. And of course, your investment portfolio is a big part of long-term financial wealth strategies. But there's more to it than just investments. And so they put together a great multidisciplinary team there at Invista Advisors that will sit down with you at every angle of financial planning that you can think of. They will bring it to bear, whether you're talking life insurance, especially if you're younger in life, end of life concerns, say how you're going to divide up your estate, or maybe you're looking for somebody to manage your small business. Most of your wealth could be tied up in your small business. You're looking to retire eventually, or it could be we need plans to help manage for our employees, or it could be you're running a nonprofit or an endowment. Whatever you're doing, whether it's an individual, an estate, or you're running that small business, that nonprofit, they can help you. They have a great team of CPAs, business consultants, specialists, as well as investment advisors. So check them out today. You can always go to InvistaAdvisors.com, but I really encourage you to call them up at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to say, hey, I heard Joey Clark. He talks with Austin Branco on the radio. I want to see what y'all can do for me. Again, that's Invista Advisors. Tell them Joey sent you. So, again, Trump will call Putin after today's meetings.
Yep.
And real quick, because we don't have long in this segment, here's a little more media, just hysteria. Like, they're just such... Have you heard the term midwit?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, the midwittery.
Yeah.
And I worry about myself in the sense that I'm a little smarter than the average bear, but I ain't that smart. And I think there is something for folks like me who have a high verbal IQ. They seem to think they know everything. And in particular, a lot of these folks end up in like corporate media jobs where they are paid in particular because they're not going to say anything outside of the corporate line and they'll just carry the water.
Are you saying that their verbiosity is mundane for the most, or should I say austere for the most part, that it's not a threat to say something out there?
No, and it's also like you're smarter than the average bear, but you're not that intelligent.
Yeah, that's me.
And like I say that about myself, but for so many in like these big corporate press jobs, they seem to show their ass, pardon me, on a regular basis.
But they can do that.
For instance, this is, I believe, Nicole Wallace, one of the worst. Let's listen into this.
Completely transparent with our viewers. We were prepared for the possibility of a minimalist outcome. We were also prepared for the possibility of a maximalist outcome. We have maps of Russia and Ukraine such that if we were going to be talking tonight, we'd have Ali Velshi at the big board walking us through which territories were where and why they were of critical need and want to both. We had full screens about what membership to NATO means to Ukraine. There was so much that could have been discussed tonight, including Donald Trump saying, if he is not willing, he being Putin, willing to agree to a ceasefire, then there are going to be consequences. We had lists of tariffs and secondary tariffs pulled up, the possibility of sanctions. It is not clear that any of that was discussed. And it is possible we were more prepared for this meeting than he was.
Oh, you probably take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you know what's funny is what's the over under on her? If I gave put a globe in front of her and I spun it and I said, show me where the creamy is at on that globe. You think she could identify it? I guarantee you she couldn't.
Right. Oh God. It's just the hubris of these folks. We're probably more prepared. We're probably more prepared than that was Alicia Mendez talking there, and Nicole Wallace saying you can probably take that to the bank. No, y'all weren't more prepared. Y'all are several steps behind.
She looks like Avril Lavigne's younger sister that doesn't know anything.
Oh yeah, I would. 2729228. That's 33. Why you gotta go and make things so complicated, Troy?
Because Eddie's not here. Somebody's got to throw some buffoonery and general shenanigans into the mix.
Well, we got to hit this top of the hour break. Again, it looks like Trump and Zelensky went well in the Oval. Meetings with Zelensky, the Ukrainians and the Europeans underway in the White House. Hopefully, peace is on the horizon, but we shall see.
A big dinner tonight of all the heads of state. There. So it could be, we might get some really good side stories out of this.
I will say there's a lot you can say about D.C., but the food up there is pretty awesome.
Man, when I worked in downtown, I ate like a king. The weird thing about that town is after 5 o'clock, it disappears.
Yeah,
Everything's gone. But
anyway,
it's nice.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Ukrainian President Zelensky has arrived at the White House. And the summit with President Trump, along with European and NATO leaders, will get underway shortly. A follow-up from last week's meeting with the president and Russia's Vladimir Putin. All flights in and out of Reagan National Airport in Washington, D.C. came to a halt this morning because of a fire alarm in the control tower. The Federal Aviation Administration order has ended. Flights have resumed. No word on if there was a fire. Hurricane Aaron, a Category 4 storm, forecast to bring life-threatening surf and rip currents across the U.S. East Coast this week. Aaron's forecast to pass the southwestern Bahamas and move between Bermuda and the east coast of the U.S. by the middle of the week. On Wall Street, stocks are lower, the Dow dropping 10 points. This is SRN News.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You work hard, you build wisely, your home has become one of your greatest assets. If you're staying put this summer, this might be the perfect time to put that equity to work, whether it's funding a second home, helping your kids get their start, or simply creating more margin in your financial life. Mike and Brian at Fellowship Home Loans are the only ones I trust to guide you through it. They've done loans for my family. They tailor every loan to fit your goals. Fellowship is a direct lender and operates with your best interest in mind. If you're looking to access your equity through a refi or exploring a HELOC for some cash this summer for a second property, or maybe tackle those updates you've been putting off, start with people you trust, people I trust. Go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 81938.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's the start of a new week, but our intense heat and humidity continues. Good bit of sunshine today, up to about 96 for the high temperature, but the heat index will be near that 105 danger range. Low tonight will be in the 70s. I've got us around 75. And any storms that do pop up in the afternoon heat will be extremely isolated in nature today, tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. And again, through Thursday, high temperatures in the middle 90s with those triple-digit heat indices, 70s at night. Rain chances perhaps a little better by the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. An officer at Staten Correctional Facility has been arrested on contraband charges. Sergeant Delano Daly was arrested following an investigation into contraband found at the facility. The ADOC did not provide any other details in the investigation other than to confirm Daly is no longer employed with the department. The finalists for the 2025 Montgomery Small Business Awards have been announced. The award winners will be celebrated at a presentation ceremony on August 22nd. The event will be held at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts beginning at 5:30 p.m. This event is free, but participants are asked to RSVP. A major bridge in Wetumpka has reopened after an unexpected shutdown Friday morning. The Bibb Graves Bridge at West Bridge Street was abruptly closed for repairs after a truck struck a concrete arch. Necessary repairs have been made, and the bridge is once again open to traffic. Final repairs will be made at a later date. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. We've dealt with more real estate problems than anyone else in the River region. If you're dealing with foreclosure, major repairs, or having trouble selling your home, we will buy your house today. We've worked with hundreds of homeowners in the River region. It's easy to get started. Just call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer today. That's 334-675-1000. Because when real estate problems cause uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer for your house.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Trump saying the war is going to end. Well, we'll see.
We shall.
We'll see. A couple of other headlines here. Did you see a top Israeli official was arrested in Las Vegas for soliciting sex with an underage victim? And this was part of a larger sting by Nevada police that arrested 8 pedophiles. But apparently this guy was immediately sent back to Israel. Yeah. Israel claimed, and I think it's a cyber unit that's directly under the prime minister, and Netanyahu's office said, well, he wasn't arrested. The Nevada police like, no, he was. And you got to wonder, what the heck is going on there? But this is from Times of Israel. A senior official in Israel's National Cyber Directorate was detained and questioned last week in Vegas on suspicion of attempting to lure minors to meet for sexual purposes, according to local police and Hebrew media reports. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police identified the official as Tom Artyom Alexandrovich, 39 years old. According to Hebrew reports, Alexandrovich is a division head in the Cyber Directorate. Wow. Yeah. And was in Las Vegas for a conference in a professional capacity at the time of his arrest. According to the police, the man was arrested along with 7 others during a sting operation targeting online predators. All 8 face felony charges of luring a child with a computer for a sex act, the police said. Police said that the suspects were released after being questioned, but added that indictments were expected to be filed against them.
You got to think, if he was a branch chief or a division chief for their cyber unit, clearly he didn't know anything about cyber security. He had people some smarter working for him, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
because you don't do that.
According to local media reports there in Israel, he returned to Israel after his release and was not arrested upon arrival.
He was PNG'd, though. I can guarantee you that.
What's that?
PNG means persona non grata. When you're a diplomat or you're on any sort of military status, or you are a guest in another country, if you are arrested and sent out, that means you're PNG. That means you're barred from returning except for legal proceedings.
The Cyber Directorate said the official reported that he was detained while in the U.S. for matters, quote unquote, unrelated to work, and that it was agreed he would be placed on leave until the matter was clarified. The Directorate added that it had not yet received official details from U.S. authorities, and that if and when such details are received, the Directorate will act accordingly. It's in charge of cyber defense in Israeli civilian sphere and operates under the prime minister's office. So, yeah.
Just what BB needs, some more bad publicity for legal matters.
I know. Oh my God. Some part of me thinks like, and is this similar thing you saw with the Catholic Church where folks get arrested abroad and you're brought back into the fold, whether it's the Vatican or it's Israel.
Just recycle them somewhere else. Huh?
Yeah. And then say, oh, you're fine. We got you. We're not going to extradite you.
It's not just the Catholic Church, though, Jerry.
Oh, I know.
There's a lot.
Oh, I know.
There's many denominations.
It's almost everywhere where you have families and children that there are predators in your midst. And that's the most chilling part of this, because it's not, thank God, it's not like all that was found, say, in Bibb County. There are often folks, it's relatives, it's trusted people in the community, like priests and pastors.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
And eternal vigilance is definitely needed. Switching off to something else, a little less heavy.
Okay.
Did you see that MSNBC is no longer going to be called MSNBC?
Yeah, I saw they were changing their name.
And they've stripped the peacock logo off of themselves. They're changing their name to MS Now, short for My Source News Opinion World.
I wonder if Microsoft would say we don't like them, but probably not. They're probably a big funder of them.
Yeah, what is
MS Now? I mean, that sounds like some sort of
MS
Microsoft meet Zoom kind of connection conference call.
Yeah, and let me see if I can find this logo and pull it up on the screen, because
they paid a lot of money for this, Joey, to figure out what they're going to be called.
Because it's MS Now, but
let's see.
In front of the MS, they put what is supposed to, I guess, be an American flag.
Oh,
and it kind of, that flag looks like a P.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So essentially that reads PMS Now.
It looks like a roll tool. It looks like a pad, maybe a used pad.
Like, what is that?
PMS.
Yeah, let me, it's a fitting description.
Well, there is angry women on that show sometimes, I know.
Yeah, PMS Now, My Source News Opinion World. So, yeah.
Congratulations. You've done it again. You've done something brilliant.
And you have seen a big difference with, that's the new logo.
Oh,
that's
clever. I
don't know. This is, it will always be Microsoft, no matter what they say.
Or multiple sclerosis, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, listen, that's as clear as mud to me when I look at that. What am I getting into, or what is it?
Well, here's
branding.
Here's Scarborough. Let's listen in.
We will become MS Now, which stands for My Source for News, Opinion, and the World. And look, Andrew, they even have a graphic up. I like it.
He's fainting in excitement.
It really right there looks like PMS Now.
No, it does. Listen, but that's fitting for them. Something's always bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Like, that is sad.
That's terrible.
And in a way, I don't want to dance on the graves too much, but this is the biggest victory from 2024. I think it was the last gasp of traditional media.
It really
the rise of new media.
Absolutely.
In a lot of different ways. And thank goodness it is changing not only our politics, I think it's changing the culture.
It is. But one of the things that comes with the rise of a nouveau media is, as we know, there's also a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of other stuff. So, but it's always caveat emptor, whoever's consuming what. But yeah, I think that we've seen the what would you call it? I guess just the last gasp coming out of those organizations.
Yeah, and good riddance. They still drive a lot of traffic, but I think what's happening is the only folks watching are older.
That's what I'm saying. It has been. So,
and I don't mean silent generation like my grandfather. It's usually boomers in their late 60s, 70s that are still watching these platforms. And you can watch whatever you like. My grandfather used to watch it all the time. He would watch CNN, and my dad would watch Fox, and they get together and butt heads. And I'm like, it's not even you two talking. Y'all are just avatars for the latest talking points coming from the right and the left. You're driving me crazy. But you're seeing more and more of a shift, and I think that is a very healthy thing. Now, yesterday, in 1945, George Orwell published a devastating critique of communism, Animal Farm.
Yes.
It reveals why every communist revolution follows the same tragic pattern: liberation to corruption to oppression. I would say, and I've written about this years ago, Animal Farm is a must-read book. Everybody should visit it. And it is very much directed at the Soviet Union and Stalinism in particular. Orwell a lot of people get this wrong. Orwell, I think to the day he died, was a democratic socialist. And he came up with that label after he goes to the war in Spain.
Yeah, he went to see the National Civil War there.
I think he got shot through the throat or something like that.
Hit. I don't know where he got hit at.
And he very quickly started to realize, oh, these are the Stalinists, these are the thugs. So he was trying to carve out this one area. And I think what happened is he became a truth teller. So as I read through this, 10 truths from Animal Farm, say this doesn't just apply to communist revolutions. No. This applies to pretty much all political revolutions.
I would think so. Yeah.
So number one, revolution contains the seeds of its own corruption. The animals overthrow their human farmer, Mr. Jones, to create an equal society. But the pigs who led the rebellion gradually adopt every human vice. They sleep in beds, drink alcohol, walk on two legs, even hold a whip in their trotter, until the final scene where neighboring farmers can't distinguish between pigs and humans at the dinner. Again, one of the most chilling scenes where they both pull the ace. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Number two, power corrupts incrementally through small compromises. After the revolution, the pigs justified keeping the cows' milk and apples as necessary, quote unquote, brain food for leadership. This first small inequality sets a precedent that escalates step by step as mass executions, and Napoleon, the pig, becomes the absolute dictator. Number three, language becomes a weapon to control reality itself. The pig spokesperson, Squealer, secretly changes the farm's written commandments at night. No animal shall drink alcohol becomes no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. This eventually culminates in the absurd contradiction, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal, of course, than others. Number four, ignorance is manufactured to enable oppression. Napoleon the pig raises puppies in isolation to become his vicious guard dogs, while deliberately keeping other animals illiterate so they cannot read the altered commandments. You think like this is meant for the Soviet Union, but could you not say a lot of this stuff has happened in America?
Any form of ism, if you think about it and take it to its conclusion, is about perpetuation of power of a central group. And this is human nature. This is actually not just on Soviet communism. This is a essay on human nature, unfortunately. Yeah.
Number five, historical memory can be erased and rewritten. Yeah, you better believe that's happened in this country. Snowball, a pig who heroically led the animals in battle and designed the windmill, is later portrayed by Napoleon as having been a traitor in league with Jones from the beginning. I guess that's Trotsky in the book.
Yes, Trotsky, Leon Trotsky. Yeah.
The revolutionary anthem Beast of England is also banned and replaced with songs praising Napoleon. Number six, propaganda is more powerful than physical force. Squealer the pig constantly threatens that Jones will come back if animals don't obey, while presenting false statistics showing increased food production even as the animals starve. They believe their suffering serves the greater good. Number seven, scapegoating enables political manipulation. When the windmill collapses in a storm, Napoleon blames the exiled pig Snowball for sabotage. After that, everything from missing eggs to broken tools is blamed on Snowball, deflecting from Napoleon's failures. Number eight, fear and violence reshape consciousness itself. Napoleon uses his trained attack dogs to force animals to falsely confess to conspiring with the exiled Snowball, then executes them publicly, creating such terror that even questioning orders becomes unthinkable. Stalin definitely did that.
Yeah.
Mass conformity is engineered, not natural. The sheep are trained to mindlessly chant slogans and drown out any dissent by bleating for minutes on end. It's almost like when, say the Republicans start doing something you don't like, then they immediately start saying, Democrats bad, Democrats bad, Democrats bad.
It's just a wall of sound. You're right.
Of course, the Democrats do the same thing.
And of course they do.
But they easily switch from 4 legs good, 2 legs bad to 4 legs good, 2 legs better when the pigs start walking upright. And number 10, the working class's loyalty becomes their exploitation. Boxer, the hardworking cart horse, whose mottos are, I will work harder and Napoleon is always right, collapsed from overwork. Instead of retirement, Napoleon sells him to a glue factory for whiskey money while telling the animals he died in a hospital.
That's the proletarian bourgeois struggle right
Yeah.
there.
And yes, it is very much an allegory takedown of the Soviet Union and Stalin.
But I think there is a larger commentary on all political movements, on human nature itself.
Absolutely.
And it's good to keep these things in mind, especially say the less of the brutish authoritarian like thuggery, like the forced confessions and public hangings. In this country, I think it is the lessons about propaganda that we should heed fully. We are, for all our freedom of speech, which I think is great, we are probably the most propagandized people on earth.
I would agree with that, and not just political, but commercialized.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We believe these certain maxims because we're fed a steady diet.
Right. Americans are always reading. I remember going on a cruise, and some guy from Spain goes, "Y'all are always, you Americans, you're always reading." And I think he was making the point that if you're reading good, but what are you reading? What are you filling your mind with? What sort of information now are you filling your mind with? Entertainment are you filling your mind with? And that's why I was saying this last gasp of the old media as the new media rises in the election, it wasn't just a political phenomenon. It is also changing entertainment culture. Absolutely. It is changing sports culture. It is changing almost everything across the board.
You know, Joey, and one of the things I take great delight in watching is streaming has changed Hollywood. Streaming has the studio has been marginalized now. It's really anybody can do this, and it really has taken the mouthpieces of the George Clooney's of the world and all these. Nobody cares anymore about them.
Well, and if y'all make good movies, I'll go see
them.
That's
right. And stay out of politics. I don't want you mixing. If you're a pop artist, don't talk politics with me.
And I think there are a lot of folks realizing, oh, the superhero thing has played itself out.
Yeah, it has.
It's been several decades now.
What was observation 7 again on that? Could you read it one more time? I want to parallel that in my life.
Number 7 is scapegoating enables political manipulation.
So I'm guilty of that, Joey. When I believe in displacing blame when I'm drinking. When Robin goes, Troy, you're drunk. I'll go, no, that bartender overserved me.
Right.
That's snowball.
Right. He gave me the high proof stuff. I asked for the low proof stuff. Let me just use the bathroom.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Give me a piece of toast.
Now, is that just you or all drunks that tend to scapegoat?
I don't know. I try not to lump myself in with everyone.
That is classic drunk behavior.
It is. I did do that.
I didn't do that. Like as you're in the middle of doing it. I'm not doing that.
He drew a pocket knife on me and said, drink. I said, okay.
Yeah, scapegoating is again, that's just human nature. That is very much
what we said. It is propaganda. You're right. The power of I don't know if I agree that propaganda and the power of the pen is stronger than the sword. I really don't. After being in war, I can tell you, bullets are real. But the idea of change comes through intellectual, good and bad stimulations. So
there's an old Christopher Hitchens lecture where he talks about. You've heard the pen is mightier, and he goes, but there are a lot of situations you'd rather have a sword than a pen. But he says the pen can still play. And he said, if you can imagine, say, a Soviet tank operator who has heard a good poem or a good song and it's in his heart, then anything is possible.
Better. That's right. No, it's
and
true.
not just romantically. Like a lot of the Iron Curtain is brought down by poets and absurdist artists and like people being smarter than the ogre who cannot perfect speech. Like, I think there's a lot to that. Now, in this day and age, I don't think we're fighting up against like the authoritarians Orwell talked about. I think it's much more akin to what Aldous Huxley talked about.
Yes.
Where they don't use just overt power and domination. They use
subtle, soft power.
Manipulating the subconscious, seducing you with drugs, with sex, with all sorts of things.
Distracting you.
And getting you comfortable to a certain system to where you won't give it up. You won't ever rebel because you're dependent. I think that's more what we're facing. And it's only going to get worse with the rise of AI.
The good news is, though, that my Lord and Master Jesus Christ says to me in Luke, if you have no cloak, then sell your cloak and buy a sword, for you will need a sword one day.
Here.
So he's probably going to come back with an AR-15, I'm thinking.
No, that's an image. We got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening. We're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Earnest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Earnest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Earnest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Tired of surprise pest problems and surprise bills? Pest Pro Services now offers subscription pest control, a simple, affordable way to protect your home year-round. Bundle pest protection, termite treatment, and mosquito control for one predictable monthly price. Great for budgeting. No stress, no pests. Locally owned, always reliable, Pest Pro is Central Alabama's trusted pest control team. Find them on Facebook or visit ppsriverregion.com. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This entire hour again brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage, and they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy a home. All starts with pre-approval, and they'll walk with you from pre-approval all the way to closing day, every step in between. And of course, they can help you with a great refinance deal to restructure debt, whether that's a second mortgage or credit card debt that is weighing you down. Could be you're entering into retirement or you're already in retirement and need to get down your monthly overhead costs. If you have equity built up in your home, they can definitely help you with that. And whether you're looking to buy or refi, if you're a veteran, they can help you. It is the best game in town, the best deal in town. And, a lot of veterans have a bad taste in their mouth. Maybe they didn't get the care they wanted on the medical side of the VA. Well, you don't have those same issues on the home loan side. And they at Alabama Home Mortgage, both Kim and Madeline, are the latest, and they can get you the best possible deal, veterans. Again, whether you're looking to purchase or refinance, meet with the pros there at Alabama Home Mortgage. They can help you out. Take advantage of those benefits that you earn through your service. That number, 567-4223. Again, that's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online. They'll get in touch with you after you fill out that application online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Now, I am seeing, you just mentioned this at 1819news.com. Jeff Poore talked with State Senator Elliott.
Yes.
Saying the Trump administration is questioning DEI policies of the Ivey administration.
Wow.
Huh. This was during his weekly appearance on Jeff Poore's show. State Senator Chris Elliott from Josephine, Alabama, revealed Trump administration officials have raised concerns about so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that remain implemented within the Ivey administration. He says, quote, there are still vestiges that we need to look at. Heck, I was in D.C. not long ago meeting with some administration folks, and look, they called out Alabama on a few things. They called out the Alabama Department of Health in particular for some of their DEI language and really focused on that. And listen, we shouldn't be surprised. We went through COVID with these folks. We know that's not a bastion of conservatism and quite the opposite, right? And then they called out the governor's office specifically. Chris Ellie went on saying, I mean, this is the Trump administration calling out the Ivey administration on, the Office of Minority Affairs. And we have this big bureaucracy that focuses on that. And so to be in the old executive office building, listening to the Trump administration call out the Ivey administration in front of some Ivey staffers and a bunch of legislators, I thought was pretty eye-opening.
Yeah.
They're serious about this, and they're serious about this at all levels of government. And so we've done good work to start with, but we're not done yet. Governor Tuberville can't happen soon enough. I'll say that I think he'll be happy to take a sledgehammer to some of the stuff that is legacy here in the state of Alabama.
Well, what's fascinating is it's the cows are coming home, and I'm telling you, the lawsuit with Admiral Davis, the stuff that I'm about to release on Cinco and his situation, there's been a pattern, a premeditated pattern of certain policies and petty politics and DEI crap. And you know what's funny? There was, I don't know if you know this, but John Wall was up for national chair of the Republican Party, and he lost to the guy from Florida. And I believe this. There's no way anyone currently in the past 8 years would ever get the chair of Alabama. The national Republican chair, simply because they look at our state politics and they say, those aren't Republicans. I mean, that Kay Ivey we know what she is. She changed uniforms in the middle of the ball game. All right. And so that legacy has to be changed, and it's going to take a Tommy Tuberville to do that. So
now next session, I don't think they're going to go for like the big gambling push in a session right before an election.
I don't think so either.
But Garland Gudger, speaking at the Madison County Men's Republican Club, he is the president pro tem of the Alabama Senate. He offered attendees a preview of the upcoming session. The Coleman County Republican lawmakers said to expect a bill pre-filed by State Representative Matt Simpson and State Senator April Weaver to extend the death penalty to child rapists to be prioritized. Well, it looks like Gudger's 100%. That's what he's saying. I am 100% behind, and I believe my colleagues are as well. It will institute the death penalty for any of the child rapists. I want to quote Senator Weaver from her press conference on that, but there's a special place in hell for people that take the innocence of the life of a small child. In addition to that bill, Gudger said he anticipates a proposal to restrict masking for protesters. It's a bill that President Trump has supported to require protesters to pull the mask down for law enforcement officers, and the anti-Trump and anti-Israel protesters across this country are cowardly trying to hide behind masks, and that's not going to happen in the state of Alabama. So that's another pre-filed bill. So just a little bit of a preview there. I don't expect anything too big in the session right before an election, but maybe you get something done on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
That would be nice. Outstanding. Hey, speaking of just since we were talking about introspection and evaluation over parts of our government, are you familiar with the Alabama Commission on Evaluation Services?
ACES?
Yeah. Here's a tip for you that I got from a very reliable source. They're going to be releasing their investigation on the Department of Public Health, and it is not good.
Good.
In
Well,
fact,
because I've looked into ACES. They were saying, Senator Arthur Orwell was saying, "Oh, we're like Doge of Alabama." I'm like, y'all ain't no Doge.
They said that.
So they actually have some report coming out that's impressive.
Blistering. I heard that it's actually Kim Boswell, as went to the governor, said we have to suppress this, but I got it from a very, very reliable source. So
well, I would love to
see what happens.
Yeah, because the Department of Public Health here in the state is a bastion. It's a big constituency group. It has a lot of power, and it's a big bastion of, let's say, professional.
It's where they hide money. It's where thievery. It's a den of thieves.
Yeah, and I haven't heard apologies for that whole COVID protocol era. I haven't, it's almost like, no, we did the right thing. We did the best we could with limited information.
Yeah, right.
That's, easy to say after information is being suppressed and people are being censored and their careers ruined for speaking out. But y'all keep on acting that way.
You high stepper.
We got to hit another break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help you fellas out, especially if you just don't feel like yourself. Feel tired, sluggish, just mentally and physically exhausted. loss of muscle mass, more weight around the middle, no libido to speak of. And, that happens to guys in their 40s and 50s, and they say, I'm just getting older.
It's called andropause. It's real.
But it's not inevitable. It's not just, it's just part of aging. And so why not get by Montgomery Men's Health, not only if you're, say, in your 40s, 50s, and 60s experiencing these symptoms, but especially if you're in your 20s and 30s.
Absolutely.
There's no guesswork there at Montgomery Men's Health, no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. Sit down today with the urologists and providers there, and they'll tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. They, of course, have ED treatments, but many other options men don't even know exist. And, of course, they can check you for that low testosterone. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. You only got one life, gentlemen. Procrastination's only going to make this worse. Call up Montgomery Men's Health today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment right now. Do it now.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from give you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better Business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's the start of a new week, but our intense heat and humidity continues. Good bit of sunshine today, up to about 96 for the high temperature, but the heat index will be near that 105 danger range. Low tonight will be in the 70s. I've got us around 75. And any storms that do pop up in the afternoon heat will be extremely isolated in nature today, tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. And again, through Thursday, high temperatures in the middle 90s with those triple-digit heat indices, 70s at night. Rain chances perhaps a little better by the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me.
What's up?
And going back to national news right now, again, we're all in a holding pattern, wondering what's going to happen in these closed-door meetings with Zelensky and the Europeans. Can a deal for peace be struck between the Russians, Ukrainians, Europeans, with Donald Trump essentially being the midwife of this thing?
That's
we can birth this peace.
Good analogy.
And of course, Trump is able to still stick to domestic politics, and he shared this clip of Victor Davis Hanson, where VDH says Trump broke the Democrat Party. So let's listen in together, see what the historian and classicist Victor Davis Hanson has to say.
Donald Trump's greatest legacy, he broke the Democratic Party. And he exposed it for what it was. It was a bi-coastal elite party with a bunch of billionaires who spend lavishly and a bunch of subsidized poor and a professional class that feels frustrated. They make $200,000 and $300,000 a year, but they live in these blue cities that are very expensive and they can't buy their beautiful home. That's what the Mondami constituency is: frustrated young white professionals. And then they've lost the working class. It's not just they have lost the muscular classes, Hispanic muscular classes, black males, white. As I said before, if you look at 2016, 20, and 24, Donald Trump's white vote, it's pretty constant. And he did not win the popular vote in 2016 or 2020. And his voting, and yet he did win the popular vote and the Electoral College in 2024 with the same percentage and actual numbers of white voters. So what happened? He picked up some women, he picked up some young people, and he got 55% of Hispanic males, and he got about 25% of black males, and he picked up another 10 to 15% of Asian males. And how could that be if he was supposed to be a racist, according to the Democrats? It happened because they don't like, it's not that they're just people. They don't want to be talked to. Nobody wants to be talked to. And basically, this is a caricature, but the Democratic attitude toward a black truck driver or a Mexican-American electrician was something like this. Now, you don't know what's good for you, but those 10,000 people crossing the border every year every day, and the 2 to 3 million people that cross every year illegally in the Rio Grande Valley, they're going to be good for you. I don't care what you say about your schools being swamps, crime going up. They're good for you. Remember that. Now, men have a right to transition, and they are now women, and they're going to compete in your daughter's sports, and you don't know what's good for you because you're too ignorant. But I will represent you. I'm a black woman with a PhD. I'm a Hispanic woman that's your congresswoman. I am your white liberal Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi, and I will tell you what is good for you. Got it? And then they'll say, you know what? You don't understand that gas at $5.50 a gallon is really good for you because the planet is heating up, and the new Green Deal is going to save you. Get some solar panels and get on the team. So they talk down sanctimoniously, and that was never clearer when Barack Obama confronted those black Democratic activist young men and said, basically, you don't know what you're doing. You think Donald Trump's good or something. You've got to get out there and support Harris. You're suffering basically from Marxist false consciousness. And I, as an elite, know what's good for you. And I will tell you, now go do it. That's what he basically said to them. For me, the locus classicus, the epitome of this is Pete Buttigieg. Everything about him represents what I just said. Sanctimonious, self-righteous, talk down. I know the answers. I know what's good for you. I am the transportation secretary. I don't think California is suffering from not enough freeways or it's too crowded. It's suffering from racist legacies of clover leaves. And I'm going to make non-racist clover. Nobody wants that. And that's what the Democratic Party, it's a Karen scold.
Man,
that's
he hit the nail on the head.
Blistering, man.
Can see why Trump just shared that with no comment. Just watch this.
Yeah, no need to. Yeah.
Wow, VDH. It's interesting. He wasn't always a Republican. I think he grew up as a Democrat, and he kind of has that farming legacy in his family.
I'm almost positive he is he's an agrarian Democrat. Yeah.
And he was one of the first to point out what was happening in academia.
Yep.
And because it was hitting his specialty, the classicism.
Yes.
The hardest early on, that they were the first casualties of the male white supremacist telling of history if you're teaching Western civilization. So what's so important about knowing like Greek and Latin?
Come on, man.
It's not like the Bible was originally written in Greek, the New Testament or anything like that.
There's a reason our founding fathers were so brilliant, because they were trained in the classics and liberalism. And I'm talking good liberalism, not bad liberalism. And it all starts with the Judeo-Christian, Greco-Roman focus of education.
And so like very early on, it went from, he actually had to sit like he's Erasmus and learn Greek. And the whole class is in Greek. The whole class is in Latin. You were expected to be able to write essays in these languages.
We call that total immersion.
And now you have people that were graduating. He notices these departments go down where they can't even read Greek or Latin a little bit.
That's amazing.
But they somehow got like a sociology degree on the particular history of agriculture in ancient Greece or something like that.
But they can't speak.
The actual language. And he often ties it to very practical concerns that if you understand these languages that are the basis of our culture stretching back centuries, not a millennia, and further, then you're not going to understand the practical nature of agriculture in ancient Athens. You need to actually understand the language they were using. And because that language has been used to build more new language, and instead all this stuff is jettisoned because, it's too esoteric, it's too heteronormative, and it centers whiteness too much and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, you're just throwing out a great tradition for no good reason. No good reason at all, because his point is like, hey, how about you read the Greeks? They were very self-critical. Like, read Antigone, read the plays. Like, it's not like, there's like,
read the
men
sophist.
always.
Read the sophist. You know,
like there's a lot there. And I think it's open to anybody. You don't have to be a white male of European descent to appreciate the classics by any means. And I think what's happening, to his point, is a lot of men are just tired of it. They might not crack open the Odyssey or fall asleep listening to it or anything, but they are, on a common sense basis, tired of the Karen scold. They're tired of being told, don't believe your own eyes and get in line, while we continue to essentially dog cuss you in our sophisticated academic ways. And people, Hispanic, black, white, whatever, a lot of, especially young men, were like, you know what? We don't have to listen to y'all. And it's a beautiful thing to watch.
I agree. And I think that part of it, though, also is it's exacerbated, and it's actually more convoluted, that so many young men's fathers have failed them.
Yeah.
They have not trained them how to use a tool, how to do this, how to do these things, how to be a rational or logic thinker. And that's sad, because what it does then is that you have a whole generation of aimless wanderers that are easily influenced, easily told this, that, and that's where it's at. And if you notice on his hat, you see his hat there. This is the intel officer in me. You saw it says A.R. Garrett. You know what that is, right? That's a seed. It's a seed company, Garrett Seeds. So yeah, he's a farmer.
Yeah, and then
he's a smart farmer.
Practical issues came up, like trade and whatnot. Trump really spoke to, but looks like the meeting is over. Yep. On either side of Trump, you have Zelensky and Emmanuel Macron
with his nice tan.
Yeah, and then you've got that's Keir Starmer, Ursula von der Leyen, or whatever. I don't know that. I guess that's the Finnish guy, the tall fellow.
That is the Finn, and I forget. He's not as good looking as the girl that was there, though.
Giorgio Meloni, there. That's Merz, the German chancellor, and then Mark Rutte, the head of NATO, the general secretary of NATO.
I don't see Trudeau up there. They're a NATO member, but it must be just European NATO. You got to, but then why is America there?
People asking, are you all right? Are you okay? No, they just took the photo op and didn't answer any questions.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And General Keane from the ISW Institute of Study of War said that there is a planned call today between Trump, Zelensky, and Putin to get this away. Yeah.
Wow.
Big deal.
U.S. will be involved with Kiev's security. I think the Europeans are actually going to put the bodies and the assets there. I think
they will.
The U.S. having a huge economic incentive and economic stake in Ukraine is more going to bring
the reconstruction of it. There's going to be a lot of investment, I think, and that's why Trump is offering him is we can build it better than it was. But then again, you have to wonder. I mean, back in the 80s, we told the third largest nuclear power in the world, which happened overnight with the Ukraine, give up your weapons and we'll protect you. So, it's sorry. I go back to this almost schizophrenic style of foreign policy we practice. So,
well, that's kind of our issue. We inherited the British Empire, and we don't like admitting we kind of have an imperial responsibility.
Absolutely.
And
Rudyard Kipling.
I mean, you can talk to the Ukrainians, like, you've been in that part of the world. How do you think the Kurds feel?
Oh yeah,
we have screwed them over so many times.
Listen, man, and they're such a good group of people.
Yeah.
I've been with them in the field. They're good.
Right, and that's the realpolitik, like this idea of, well, the calculations kind of changed, gentlemen. Sorry, made a lot of promises and decades ago when we weren't here and in charge, but you would like to see more stability long term, and maybe that's what they're going for in this. That if Trump actually solves this, and that's a big if, because there's a lot of reasons this could go wrong. But if he actually solves this, where it's not only ending the war, you have economic normalization with the Russians. Maybe the Russians even start playing ball and saying, you know what, we don't like being China's little brother. And this allows Trump and the whole team. Obama was talking about this in his first term, to actually pivot to China and focus on China alone.
And that's why, and again, I know I'm maybe in a minority when I say this. I advocated the use of force against Russia 2 years ago, right after it happened. And I'll tell you why. They've lost 3/4 of their frontline armored forces. They have no ability to project any critical land power anywhere beyond. They can't even conquer the Donetsk by themselves. Okay.
Right.
So anytime you have a near peer adversary, only because it has nuclear weapons,
right,
a near peer adversary, if you can degrade their combat potentiality to a point where it's, I would argue it's combat ineffective in many ways against the conventional army, even though that new AI and the battle space has changed with asymmetric warfare, autonomous vehicles. You still have to be able to, we talked about earlier, and you said it, you take ground, you got to hold ground. You got to keep the boots there. They can't do that with any degree of force. So,
right. So it's like, all right, guys, you've shown your ass here. Like, you've shown your weakness. How about you play ball? And and I'm thinking also like the economic arrangements.
Oh yeah.
And the mineral rights and so much of this, this would be a way for, especially if you also settle Israel with the larger Arab community in the area.
You could get a Nobel Peace Prize.
You then can focus fully on China.
And that's where we need to be.
That would be better for everybody. And it gives, I don't think Trump was just blowing smoke in the very early days where he said, I want peace. I want to do not only a nuclear deal with Russia to reduce, I want to do a reduction of nukes and forces with the Chinese as well. I want to do it worldwide. I would love to see us actually stop spending as much on GDP, all of us, start stair-stepping down how much you're spending on military in general. Now, that is huge down the road. But if you actually start knocking down these particular steps in the process,
it's a good start.
We'll see.
So speaking of China, did you see the debacle of the Coast Guard ship and the Navy? Listen, and people tell me that their Navy is a threat. They have commanders that can't even get out of the way.
Yeah, give me a break. They ran into each other.
It was
they were harassing a Philippine.
A smaller Philippine Coast Guard boat. Yeah.
Yeah, and that Coast Guard boat was weaving and kind of moving along, and they had two other ships, and the Chinese ran into each other.
And the very last scene, which was not shown by most of the media, but it's available online, is a young ensign from the Filipino Navy, a female. She's like, MV 778. This is, Filipino Coast Guard, blah blah. We have medical crew on board ready to render assistance if required.
How about this?
No, just wonderful. Man.
We'll be right back. Hopefully, Michael Cohen on the other side.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Looking for the perfect night out? Head to Jack's Tavern, where the vibe is chill, the food is amazing, and the beer is freakishly cold. Happy hour rocks Tuesday through Thursday, 4 till 6. Then stay for dinner. You get all the great flavor of Epicure in a laid-back tavern atmosphere, with the full dinner menu served till 9. Friday and Saturday nights, it's all about live music from 7 to 10, an extensive wine list, and 58 beers on tap. Yep, 58. So grab your crew, grab a pint, and make it to Jack's Tavern. Open Tuesday through Saturday.
Hello there, this is Dr. Sam, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Frequency sells. The more ads you can get on the air, the better the chance it'll make an impact. Radio allows advertisers an inexpensive way to get their voice heard over and over again. Contact me, Dr. Sam, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now seeing photos of the huge meeting with all the European leaders and President Zelensky, Trump and Zelensky, sitting across the table from one another. I guess this one's more open to the press for the time being.
See, if they had that ballroom, it would be so much more prestigious, It would look like
it'd be much nicer.
Winter Palace or something.
Well, I have bad luck with sponsors that call in because Michael Cohen's not available. He's heading into a meeting.
Monday. You can't
Oscar
trust that day.
Branco? No.
That's what the mamas and papas said.
Oh, yeah. Mama Cass, ham sandwich.
That's right.
And they're at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Of course, they can help you out with any of the latest products in that space. Michael's always traveling to do conferences, seeing what's coming out. The new TVs, the short throw projectors, the new sound system solutions are just awesome. But of course, remember the appliance side of the store. Maybe you need a new washer dryer unit, one that'll actually last. Maybe you need to build a kitchen, rebuild a kitchen from the ground up.
Yeah.
So stove or range or stovetop,
Grills.
oven. And of course, they have a great grill selection.
I saw 'em.
If you, I'm a little jealous of my brother and dad. They both have Traegers.
Oh yeah,
man, and that stuff is magic the way it works.
It makes you look like a genius.
I know.
Mike Cohen can help you look like a master barbecue.
They've got it all there, but the difference is their service. There's a reason generations of folks keep going back to Cohen's because, sometimes things do go wrong, even with the great new products, and they're there to help you out. Of course, they can install new things as well. Michael Jacks, the guy, is second to none and how good he can get the job done. Just last week, we were talking with Michael Cohen about how Michael Jacks installed a new camera system for somebody. They can do that.
I heard that.
But say you're getting a new refrigerator, they can take the old one off your hands.
That's a big deal.
No extra charge.
That's a big deal.
Y'all check out Cohen's today. That's website's easy enough. ThinkCohens.com. That's ThinkCohens.com. You can shop from home. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael, one of the great team members there, and say, hey, I heard that Joey Clark fella talking about y'all on the radio. I want to see what you can do for me. And so we're now seeing, again, the whole delegation meeting up. Trump now giving a speech from his prime spot there on the table, saying this is a decision that can only be made by President Zelensky and the people of Ukraine in agreement with President Putin. I think that very good things are going to come of it. If we can have a good meeting, I will set up a meeting with President Putin. And if you would like, I will go to that meeting. Not that I want to do that, but I will do that because we want to save a lot of people from dying. A lot of people are dying and we've got to save them. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people sometimes a week. All of us would obviously prefer an immediate ceasefire. We will work on lasting peace. Maybe something like that can happen. As of this moment, it has not happened. But President Zelensky and President Putin talk a little bit more about that. And President Putin can talk a little bit more about that. In the 6 words, we have stopped. We don't need a ceasefire. I don't think that's necessary. You can do it through the war, but I like the ceasefire from another standpoint. You immediately stop the killing. I believe a peace agreement at the end of all of this is something that's very attainable and it can be done in the near future. With all of the wars that I got involved in, We only have this one left. Of course, as I walk out the door, there will probably be a new one starting, and I will get that stopped too. I thought this was going to be one of the easier ones. It's actually one of the most difficult. The next step would be for a trilateral meeting. That will be worked out. I look forward to working and having great resolve. We are going to spend a lot of time talking about and really over this. So this is Trump's introductory remarks to all these European leaders and Zelensky himself.
Yep.
It is interesting putting more of the onus of the decision on. This is up to Ukraine. Really, at the end of the day, I can only do so much as president of the United States. So continues on. We got another hour, final hour coming up. I might read my op-ed.
I think you should.
Yeah, another, let's say, introspective musing on the whole AI revolution and where it's going with a bit of a personal touch. So y'all stay tuned. More news and views in the afternoon. Final hour after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Volodymyr Zelensky and President Trump are expressing hopes that today's critical talks with Ukrainian and European leaders at the White House could lead to trilateral talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The summit is now underway, and President Trump says he will call Putin afterwards. Air Canada has suspended plans to restart operations after the union representing 10,000 flight attendants decided to defy a return-to-work order. The Canada Industrial Relations Board ordered staff back by Sunday afternoon, but the union refused, calling the order unconstitutional. Air Canada now plans to resume flights Monday evening. Stocks are lower as Wall Street is holding near its records, the Dow dropping 62 points, the NASDAQ down 17. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's the start of a new week, but our intense heat and humidity continues. Good bit of sunshine today, up to about 96 for the high temperature, but the heat index will be near that 105 danger range. Low tonight will be in the 70s. I've got us around 75. And any storms that do pop up in the afternoon heat will be extremely isolated in nature today, tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. And again, through Thursday, high temperatures in the middle 90s with those triple-digit heat indices, 70s at night. Rain chances perhaps a little better by the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
The president of Moms for Liberty here in Alabama, Emily Jones, is very pleased with a state law that will go into effect this coming October 1st. The law that was passed this year has to do with increasing the age of medical consent from age 14 to 16. The original intent of that bill was to make that age of consent 18, but that, however, did not happen. Jones says there are still great things written within the bill that enforce parental rights. Jones spoke about it on the 1819 News podcast with host Brian Dawson.
This bill, and I read it before I got here to make sure I said it right. This now law, I should say, prevents schools from having kids involved in any mental health counseling, period, unless the parent consents for a 16-year-old or below. That's huge.
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Covenant Rescue Group seeks to directly support organizations and agencies that are fighting the global battle against human trafficking. They do this through funding, procuring, and advocating. You can go to covenantrescue.org for further details. They need your donations, guys. Hop on and donate.
A judge is now being brought into a school decision in Dothan that may jeopardize the newly chosen school superintendent's position. Houston County Judge Todd Derrick is considering a lawsuit that was filed by businessman Ricky Stokes that claims the Dothan City School Board violated the open meetings law when they selected and voted to hire Dr. Carrick Askew. The board approved Askew's contract just last week. The judge says he will offer an opinion on this case very soon. A vessel incident in Baldwin County this past weekend has injured one man severely, as well as thrown a mother and her child into the waters. 34-year-old Brittany Anderson and her 2-year-old were on the boat that started to tilt heavily to the right, throwing them into the water. The driver of that boat, Artis Anderson, was also thrown overboard and then hit by the boat after it circulated around him. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Clark.
Welcome back. Then turning to my love, I said, the dead are dancing with the dead. The dust is whirling with the dust. I haven't been able to bring myself to do it, to bring them, to bring her back to life. The technology is available. It's right there at my fingertips, just a few taps away. But I can't seem to shake the haunting whisper of my conscience. Though for now, I can't quite make out the whispered words. I don't think it's superstition on my part. It's not like I believe a photograph can capture people's souls or anything like that. It's just that I know it will be a fake, a cheap trick of digital dust. The family photos around my grandfather's house haunt me enough already as familiar and friendly ghosts. I can only imagine how much less friendly and familiar the haunting might be to see my family members reanimated and their picture frames brought, quote-unquote, back to life, smiling and squinting at me. Yet, that is what Elon Musk is offering with the latest feature of his Grok AI. All you need to do is download the Grok app to bring family photos to life, Musk posted on X in response to a woman who had used the Grok Imagine function to reanimate an old photo of her grandparents. I finally got Grok to work for me. I'm in tears, the woman posted. These are my grandparents on their wedding day in Italy. Grok made them come to life. As I write this, on the wall across from me hangs a photo of my grandparents on their wedding day, nearly 7 decades ago. My grandmother passed away in 2021. My grandfather, now my roommate, is presumably one room over, sitting in his recliner reading a sci-fi novel, if he isn't taking a break to check how Aaron Judge and the Yankees did today. Here's an idea. I could throw my grandparents' wedding day photo into Mr. Musk's magic imagination machine. Maybe my grandfather would fall to tears upon seeing it reanimated. Or maybe he would find it more disturbing and alien than any science fiction novel he's ever read. Yet I can't bring myself to do it. The haunting whisper of my conscience stops me dead with words I still can't quite hear clearly. The family photos in my grandfather's house hang undisturbed, as silent and still as the day they were taken. So many photos, so many memories of the living and the dead. From my great-grandfather to my grandmother to my uncles, aunts, and cousins, pictured all across all the seasons and stages of life. It honestly took me a while to get used to seeing them every day. For most of my adult life, I've kept very few family photos. Indeed, the only framed photo I brought with me to my grandfather's is a picture of my brother and I as little boys. It's a classic, a stage pose from one of those corny photo shoots that only a mother could demand of her sons before they grow up too fast. I could say I've kept this photo because it reminds me of my younger brother, but that's not the full truth of the matter. Truth is, it reminds me of someone who isn't even pictured in the frame, but whose presence shines through nonetheless. My deceased mother. Only Mom could have gotten us to take that photo. So much so that I can't help but see her spirit animating it again and again and again each time it catches my eye. Of course, there are many pictures of Mom all around her father's house from all stages of her life. A little girl, a daughter, a senior in high school, a nursing school graduate, a bride on her wedding day, a mother of 2 young boys, an aunt to nieces and nephews, a cancer patient, still beautiful in her wig. They're all over this place. Admittedly, I like some of her photos more than others, usually the ones furthest away from when she died 10 years ago, when she was still in the flower of her youth. Yet I haven't been able to bring myself to do it, to bring her image back to life with Mr. Musk machine. Why? Because I know it wouldn't be her. Not as she truly moved and smiled, but an uncanny version of her made to dance and sing, animated by the whirling of digital dust and probabilistic puppet strings to appear as though she was once again a living thing. Her memory turned into a marionette by machine for a momentary illusion. Every time I witness one of those wretched things, reanimated and pretending to be alive, I can hear the haunting whisper of my conscience growing clearer with my disgust. The dead are dancing with the dead. The dust is whirling with the dust. That'll be my op-ed coming out tomorrow, and the title of it is, Should I Bring Mom Back to Life with Mr. Musk Magic Machine? And honestly, the other day when I saw these things, like I'm sure folks have seen these new animation things. They are kind of amazing, but it's also the issue of uncanniness. And I did have that thought of like, I can't do it. For some family members I never met that are like, we're in the 1800s. Yeah, maybe.
For a mom or a dad.
Yeah, for folks who actually knew. There's something disrespectful about it. There's something off about it. After I wrote this, I always read it to my grandfather. He gets the first preview, folks, fresh off the press. And he said, yeah, it'd be weird to see myself. But he kind of just shook his head and said, I don't want to see your grandmother, quote unquote, brought back to life. Because I think it doesn't. It's not them. Again, it's not them. And it's almost like playing a trick on yourself. In a way, you're letting whatever this AI thing reanimate your loved ones. Mm-mm.
This is your best piece. And I'm being very serious. It was very emotional for me to hear because I know how much you loved Mom.
Yeah.
But it's a scary thought to think that technology could delude us into believing that that's reality.
Yep.
And that's the crux of everything with AI. It really is. And to think about it. And I thought about it for my dad too, who I lost a couple of years ago. And the thing is that when it's absent in the body, present in the spirit with God. And I think we need to leave it at that. It's one of those things. But I'm not sure all people will agree with that. And that.
Well, that's what I was trying to get at with the picture of me and my brother. And it is corny as crap. We're standing like both have our little boy shorts on with the polo shirts tucked in. And both skinny as a rail. Like we can't be like 10.
Fake smile.
Oh, yeah. And we're it's like a fence post overlooking the river.
Oh.
I can kind of remember the day.
Okay.
And we're both kind of posing and looking off in the distance with
pondering
stupid bowl cuts and all that stuff. And like it's so corny, But every time I see it, I don't think, like, I can call my brother. I can FaceTime him. To be brutally honest, there are photos he's taken with his daughter, Lucy, at this point that have supplanted the old photo. That's Will. That's Will in the Liverpool bar with Lucy, and Liverpool wins, and the whole bar starts chanting, "Goal, baby! Goal, baby! She's a good luck charm, lad." That reminds me of my brother. But every time I see that photo of my brother and I as little kids staged like that, the animation of my mother comes to mind. That, like, as much as maybe when I was a kid, I was like, why do we have to do this?
Yeah.
I can see her fingerprints all over it without having to see her.
Yeah.
It's like we're becoming too reliant on the visual tricks.
You're absolutely right.
And it's good to remember, no, the things that they, as I wrote about the other week, the things they can't take away from you are written on the heart. And one way to take from your heart is to start relying on these tricks, these visual tricks, these AI tricks. And I know some people, if somebody does this, they're able to jog a memory from seeing these things. God love you. It's just how I feel about it.
No, I think it's profound. I think it's genuine. I think it's heartfelt. And I think it's a warning to others that, that AI is not, but it is a reality in many ways, but it doesn't replace the things that are inherently true to who we are and what we are about. So.
Yeah, and even folks I don't know, isn't there a creepiness to these things still?
Well,
like the uncanny valley, as they say.
Yeah, well, there is. But when I made the picture of Kay Ivey with Joe Paterno drinking in a bar, and he was telling her, "Hey, a couple more drinks, and I can make you change teams."
Yeah, the photos were
That's
enough,
different.
but like the anime, like you take a photo and it's animated to come to
is
life.
strange, yeah,
Like
that's
when it's that, even when it's the meme that you're making a joke, oh, it's cool to see that meme come to life. There is this deadness to the eyes. There's something about it.
Did you see the video itself of them dancing?
Yeah.
It looked like something out of a Walt Disney's Haunted Mansion or something. It was
Right.
kind of like ethereal.
Right.
It wasn't real.
Yeah, and there's a lot of literature on the uncanny valley where it's
Yes,
it's so human, it is convincing, and then it's immediately disturbing because it's not human. So it hasn't quite actually pulled off the full invitation, but it's so close that it gives you that little hope, and then it creeps you the hell out.
Joey, we are on the precipice of a brave new world with AI.
No kidding.
Many things are about to be turned upside down.
Why I keep thinking about it, why I keep writing about it. And I honestly, I use it.
I
It
think
is
you
a
should.
very good for quick research and breaking down ideas. But you have to remember, you're the one in charge. Don't let it do your thinking for you.
So a good friend of mine who's a surgeon here in town, I was having drinks with him last night, and he's kind of old school, and I had to show him what podcasts were and some stuff. And I showed him Grok, and I asked him about, why don't you challenge him? Ask him how to do a very advanced medical procedure. And it was a very obscure spinal surgery. He put it down, and he was like, wow.
Yeah.
He goes, had I had that, and it's a game changer. It really is a game changer.
It is. And then it's the question about, I think it is going to bring up questions like, what does it mean to actually be human? And I think it's going to come down to the messy, mysterious parts of being human. Like, do I literally see my mother? Like, how does memory actually work?
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't literally see anything. That's not how it works. Like, I don't think there are ancient cultures that think, a mirror would steal a part of your soul, or a camera or a photograph. I'm not thinking in those ways.
No,
I don't think like, my mom's soul is trapped in this AI monstrosity. That's not, but it is more like,
It's more about you than it is about her in that regard, right?
Yes.
And I think that's unfair too, to put that burden upon them when they are not here to do that. And the other thing is, did you see the chance for birthing robots?
Birthing robots?
Yeah, Musk is talking about using androids to be able to bring to gestation it would be like
a
in vitro, but
artificial womb, like from the beginning to end.
Yeah, that's straight.
That is straight up Brave New World stuff. Straight up, and
Space Marines will be born out of that womb. I think.
This will be the trade-off in a way. You could say like childbirth is onerous and dangerous. Like, and this would be a way to where we can make sure development goes well, and there's no danger to the
Surrogacy is
mother.
very dangerous and risky because people may not give the baby, but the robot will. But maybe the robot won't want to give up the baby.
And then on top of that, I saw that they're now starting to fuse biology with the digital, where you could use actual harvested or created in the lab neurons that are then embedded into microchip.
Man, that's crazy.
And then also not Elon's company, it's a different company. it just came out that they've come up with a hair thin, essentially device that is a brain chip, but the chip is as thin as a hair and requires no surgery. Here, I think I got
Pull that up. I'd like to see that.
And so, like, the idea would be, especially for folks who are paraplegic or have other disabilities, this could allow them to control, say, electronic devices. And, you know, Musk Neuralink requires surgery. It's pretty intensive
Implant, all
process.
that.
This is instead it's like a little hair. Like that is somebody's fingertip that's sitting on. So it's tiny.
It's a little strand going back and forth.
Tiny thing.
Man.
What's
the name of this company, by the way?
Let's see here.
Georgia
It's engineers at Georgia Tech with South Korea.
Okay.
They just shrunk brain-computer interfaces to the size of a hair parting. So it's like your split ends. It's not even a full hair. A cross-shaped resin with microscopic spikes slips between follicles, reading brain signals without surgery. Signals travel through a wire hidden in hair, then beaming wirelessly to phones, glasses, or whatever you want to control. 96.4% accuracy, stable for about 12 hours, designed for mass production. It's a lifeline for anybody with disabilities. Now let's see this clip here, though.
Scientists developed a brain-computer interface so small that it could be placed between hair follicles, making it much less bulky than earlier devices. Created by engineers at the Georgia Institute of Technology and collaborators in South Korea, the new sensor uses a cross-shaped resin with tiny spikes that lightly pierce the scalp to pick up brain signals. These signals are carried by a flexible wire through the hair to a microprocessor, which sends the information wirelessly to other devices. The system was tested by controlling a computer phone application and by sending signals to glasses connected to a smartphone. Tests showed the device was about 96.4% accurate and stayed in place for up to 12 hours. It was also designed for mass production, raising hopes that it could someday be widely available for millions of disabled users who need better ways to control devices through thought. The small size and wireless design of this brain-computer interface could open up many future applications beyond helping disabled users control phones or computers. Because it can be placed easily between hair follicles without surgery and stay in place for long periods, it could be used for continuous brain monitoring in hospitals, early detection of neurological disorders, or even everyday tasks like controlling smart home devices. Its lightweight structure and potential for mass production also mean it could one day be adapted for virtual reality, gaming, or wearable health technologies, making brainwave communication a normal part of daily life.
And so you see that and you're like, that's amazing. And I see a lot of the AI breakthroughs and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yes.
But I keep having what I described as, the haunting whisper of my conscience go, yes, that's amazing, but be careful where it might take you.
The valley. It take you into the valley, as you said.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hello, fellas.
Hey, Randall. How you doing?
Hey, Randall.
Oh, pretty good. Oh, and another company called Synchrome, SYN Chrome, is they was ahead of Tesla. I mean, Elon Musk, even before this one you just pulled up. They was in Australia doing it. Theirs, you go through the jugular, through the aorta vein, and you go with a needle and go up to the brain and put it into a blood vessel. And that's, you don't have to have no surgery or nothing.
Wow.
I mean, that's like calling it no surgery, but it's called Synchrome. It's a business that's been doing it before Elon. And I forgot the reason I was calling.
You called right after I read my thing.
Oh yeah, man, that was a heartstringer, bro.
Yeah, it was.
And but could you? And then you answered my question right after. I think after you got talking about the memes and all that it still wouldn't be as good. But I was like, could you take Eddie's picture and have snot dripping off his nose and him rocking and rolling and just something fun and use
Oh yeah, I can definitely do that.
Eddie's easy.
And then if I do that, he'll have me like soaking all sorts of cork and like it's gonna be a mess.
So you don't want to start nothing, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go there with look at Eddie embarrassing.
Randall, let me tell you the truth. What happens at breaks around here when I'm here between Eddie and him? I got to keep them apart. They're like two battling stepbrothers.
Yeah, that movie is our origin
That's exactly what they're like.
That's what makes this show so good.
Yep.
Voice of a generation, baby.
But on your robots having babies, they've had AI artificial wombs already.
I mean,
but they where they can make them about they have about 30,000 at a time, but having a robot take a male and a female that's married and taking theirs if they can't have a baby, taking their stuff, putting it in the robot.
That's what I
was and have it right there with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the one that
go ahead.
The one that has the artificial wounds I'm talking about, it has an app. You sit there, you get to pick out everything about your youngin', color eyes, the whole thing. And you got an app you go by, you can check on your baby 24 hours a day. Wow. Then, you go see, I guess you go see them whenever you want to. I ain't sure about that part. But you can go by the app and see how it's growing or how she's growing all the time.
Yes. I want to say something. Why I brought this up, Randall, is someone close to me is trying to have a baby and they've gone through fertility treatment and all this stuff. And when I read that, my wife's like, wow, that's possibly an option. And I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm even saying that. But yeah, hey, did you notice I slowed down, Randall, when I'm talking now? And I took your advice, brother. And I'm just going to try to talk like this going forward.
Oh, no, I was just talking about when you're reading.
I know. I'm just kidding you. I'm kidding. I do need to slow down. So I'm just joking with you when I said, I'm speaking very measured.
Like Joy was reading a while ago, and he was letting it breathe and letting you feel it. You know what I mean?
It's not a race, right? It's not a race, is what you're saying. Yeah.
He was letting us feel it.
I was letting it sizzle just for you, Randall.
Yeah.
It was a good one. And it's like he said, I can't remember all of them, so I can't say I say it's your best. I mean,
it is. It is to me. I got emotional about it, so I'll go and say it. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call.
All right, fellas.
All right, brother.
We'll see y'all.
Got to hit a quick break here. First, this part of the program brought to you by Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Man, you would do that because you haven't ate today. You haven't ate today.
Yeah, I'm fasting today.
Yeah, I know.
And I feel great, though.
Yeah, Lent St. Michael, right?
But I'll tell you what, I can get down on some Smokehouse right now because I haven't eaten.
I can eat for you. I can eat your portion.
Okay. I don't know if that's actually going to help me. But, man, and I'm looking at the menu here. In particular, Tuesday through Sunday, they do breakfast starting at 6:30 in the morning. I'm looking at like a breakfast plate. So you serve with your choice of grits or hash browns, especially those cheese grits.
Cheese grits.
They call it grit cheese
because it's not cheese with
There's grits. so much cheese and butter and cream. It's so good.
My heart hurts already.
But also your choice of grits or hash browns. You can get toast or a biscuit and 2 eggs. Add a side of bacon, ham, or sausage. There's also the Fat Boy breakfast if you can't decide. So you get like a sampler of everything. They also have the country fried steak breakfast. Oh, that sounds awesome,
man.
Custom made biscuits, custom made like breakfast bowls, breakfast burritos, and omelets. You can go with a classic like biscuits and gravy.
Oh, man.
It's so good. Generous side portions. Really, really great, folks. Of course, they also do a daily meat and 3 lunch special, which is to die for. And in the evening time, they have a great barbecue menu. Of course, you can get this at lunch as well, like pulled barbecue pork, pulled chicken, brisket, turkey breast,
I'm going
ribs,
sampler platter. I'm going to sampler
smokehouse sampler platter, smoked pit ham, Kaneka sausage, fried catfish if you want to go more seafood.
Are you kidding me?
If you want to pretend to be a Catholic on Friday and Lent. They got it all there at Smokehouse, folks. Y'all check them out today. You can look at the menu and get yourself real hungry at smokehousepitbarbecue.com. That's actually smokehousepitbbq.com. And, of course, stop by. Same location they've always been, Main Street in Millbrook, and tell them that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, are the ones that made you hungry.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. (272-9228). If you want to get in on the conversation, let's go right to the phones and talk to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
Hey. Oh, guys, what an amazing time we're living in, huh?
Indeed.
It's, well, you know, there's no other real word for it. It's kind of a little bit concerning in some ways.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to sound like Prospero here in The Tempest, but I'm telling you what, this,
good analogy.
You know, the changes that are coming on us are way beyond anything that any other generation has had to deal with. I'm talking about not just physical, but metaphysical and all kinds of other things, you know. When you talk about some of this AI stuff, especially conjuring the dead in some ways.
Yep.
Necromancy.
Well, you know, I mean, look, you can do that. I mean, the Witch of Endor in the Bible proved that, you know.
Amen, brother.
You can conjure the dead. It's not something that is not possible or anything. You can actually do that. And it just doesn't need to be done. You know, another thing that I would point to is in Revelation 9, verse 6. The Bible says that in those days, men will seek death and won't be able to find it.
Yeah. You know, you hit it on the nail head. I just don't, not to interrupt you, but I believe that this is, and I don't want to sound militant about it, but these are dark forces. These are deceivers. These are principalities. There's dominions involved in it. And they prey on the minds of weak people that are spiritually bankrupt and secular. And that's my thoughts. So
bankrupt, uninformed, ill-informed, yeah, there's some real bad things that, can go on here, and some real bad ways, especially for the ignorant and uninformed.
Yep.
And not just them, but for, others around them, and even to, the point of the society that we live in. I don't want to belabor the point too much, but you can see what I'm talking about and what I'm getting at.
Yep.
And it's not just that. There are other things too that are happening that are maybe not good. We got to really be cognizant and aware of some of these changes, and kind of be careful about how we go about using these powerful technologies that nobody can, is going to dissuade me from using some of it, because AI is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. But, then how do you tell the difference between the real world and
Sure. Well, and I think it's going to be an iterative process, and I think it can be used for good or for evil. For every microchip that can be stuck on the brain to help a paraplegic, how much could that be used, say, to do some really terrible things, whether it's controlling people or it's, say, controlling weapons in some way? Like, there's all sorts of ways this could go in a bad direction. It's like, for instance, firearms are a technology. And firearms can be used to defend somebody in an honorable and dignified way. And firearms can be used to do some of the most heinous things ever known. So I kind of view it that way. But to your point, the idea that you found essentially we're able to build thinking machines out of silicon, careful with how you twist the intelligible nature of the universe, that intelligence that seems to be within everything. Because
what was that movie? I'm sorry. What was that movie that Bruce Willis was in, where they lived their lives inside of this capsule? What was the name of that movie? But it was just like that. And then they finally came out of their capsules and realized. I mean, not just they already knew, they were old and falling apart, but in their little mind world, they were young and vibrant, and so. Some were choosing just to stay in there, I can't remember the name of that movie, but it was pretty awesome.
And this is a weird thing to analogy or parallel to make, but I'm working my way through a history book. It's on Erasmus of Rotterdam, and it's mostly focused on him, but it's also tracking a parallel track of Martin Luther's development, because Martin Luther and Erasmus debating around the Reformation is pretty crucial in Christian history and Christian thought. And what's fascinating reading this stuff is there's always resistance to change, and it's not always good resistance. Erasmus teaching himself Greek and going back to the letters of St. Jerome and going, you know what, he was moving too fast. He got the translation wrong here. Right. And of course the entire Roman Catholic Church is like, hey,
heresy.
You can't be starting changing the Vulgate. We base everything off that. And so I think in this new age, as much as you're going to see horrors and perversions and manipulations of the intelligible universe, I think you're also seeing this revolution of thought and revisiting of revelation, where people have new tools that are even more powerful to discover things. And I don't mean like wacky heresies and whatnot. I mean like revisiting, using the best methods possible to really narrow down the truth and spread the good news far and wide. I think my doctor just told me today that you've seen an uptick, about 22% uptick in young men in particular, going back to church. And it's mostly Catholic, Orthodox, and hardcore reform Protestant. And you're seeing a 10% increase in women. You're seeing like going fairly mainstream in the podcast space, arguing about like biblical text and even apocryphal text and like all this stuff mixing together, I think probably bodes well. But the underlying thing will probably always be, does our reach
our grasp exceed
does our reach exceed our grasp, in the sense that we might be able to create these new technologies, but we're not actually able to grasp the true power of what we've done. And that's always going to be the most dangerous thing. We're still dealing with nuclear weapons. We haven't blown ourselves up yet. So maybe we won't blow ourselves up with this.
Papa B, I was just telling Joey at the break, I said, do you remember back in the day, and maybe he doesn't because he's a young guy still, but I know you do, Papa B. About 20 years ago, we looked at technology and we said, how far is it advanced? It all came about the price of the big screen TV. Hey, look, it came down another $10 an inch, right? And it's like, that was the benchmark.
Yeah.
Today, it's a brave new world. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think y'all are tagging on it though. We just got to be very careful. And by the way, Joey, I'm glad you brought that other update. I believe that we very well could be on the third great awakening.
I hope so.
Something like that.
Sweeping over this country and maybe the world. We need it.
Yes,
There's no question of it. There's no question of it. A great repentance come upon this country would be a very great blessing as well. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. And Pressbro, he might have had a point or two. I say.
I'm going to call you the Oracle of Delphi. Actually, how's that?
All right, guys.
Thanks, Papa B. 272-9228. Who knows? The next time Papa B calls, he might have your prophecy.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. We've dealt with more real estate problems than anyone else in the River region. If you're dealing with foreclosure, major repairs, or having trouble selling your home, we will buy your house today. We've worked with hundreds of homeowners in the River region. It's easy to get started. Just call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer today. That's 334-675-1000. Because when real estate problems cause uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer for your house.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
There's good, there's better, then there's the best. For generations, that last category has pretty much been the exclusive realm of Cat Yellow Iron. Equipment that continues to set industry standards. Well, why settle for less? Fact is, you don't just deserve it, you can own the best, and it's more affordable than you think. Whether we're talking micro, mini, or mid-sized tractors, or jumbo earth-moving machines, Thompson Tractor has helped hard-working people like you get their own piece of legendary Cat equipment since 1957. Over that time, we've earned a lot of trust. With Thompson, you can always count on expert service and technical support. We stand behind what we sell. Always have, always will. And now with the Cat Guard, you have a host of financing options to protect your cash on hand. So visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here for you.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It's the start of a new week, but our intense heat and humidity continues.
Good bit of sunshine today, up to about 96 for the high temperature, but the heat index will be near that 105 danger range. Low tonight will be in the 70s. I've got us around 75. And any storms that do pop up in the afternoon heat will be extremely isolated in nature today, tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly in the afternoon and evening hours. And again, through Thursday, high temperatures in the middle 90s with those triple-digit heat indices, 70s at night. Rain chances perhaps a little better by the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And let's go to, I guess this is Billy Bob on line one. Hello, sir.
Hey, y'all.
How are you doing?
Hey, Billy.
Oh, pretty good. Listen, I got a rant, but I ain't as good as Greg, and I really enjoy yours. I don't really classify them as rants. I think you're more demonstrative. I really like that.
Thank you.
And Troy too. So I think, and I never seen the whole. The beginning of it all, but I think that movie that Papa's talking about is 13 Monkeys.
I think it's Surrogates. I looked it up at break. I think it's Surrogates.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I listened, but 13 Monkeys is, I was thinking, well, that might have been it, but it's actually Surrogates, I think. 2009 it said, so yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. I remember that one and all. I don't go see movies or whatever, and all. Didn't back then a whole lot, but yeah, that was good too. But that monkey movie, my Lord,
that blew my mind.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can imagine what that book was like. Usually, movies come out from book screenplays or whatever.
That was good.
And they throw stuff in it, and all the screen playwriters and then the directors and all like that. But man alive, and what got me was the dude that turned out to be the bad guy in the end.
Yeah.
He has played so many good. And I can't remember. He was on a police movie. A TV show or whatever, and all like that. Plus, he was Jodie Foster's dad in Contact.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
When, and look, I know I'm getting famous for this and running off in the movies.
You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good.
But that was really good too, and all. And if you remember, oh my gosh, here we go. Margot Jortner, there's a name, who was if I remember right, he was a child preacher way back. Just some of his and all like that, and I'm not sure he did a whole bunch of movies, but he was the maniac that blowed up that first installation in Contact and all. It was, that was a hoot. Look, I wanted to rant about women and all, but I got it out.
Well, call us another day when you want to rant about the women.
Look, I used to be a guy, Kevin Elkins, on the AM side, and they called him the mayor. It was many years he did a morning show, and man, I hated that guy. And all, there's a lot of stuff he said was good, and all. I really hate that he turned into a suck up for the mayor we got now. But Kevin used to say that he would not even go to a church with a female preacher and all. I mean, he was old school, and interpreting the Bible, blah blah, whatever, and all like that. And I kind of understand that, but you look at that little press gal up there and all, his secretary and all.
Yeah.
My goodness, she's sharp as all get out.
You wouldn't kick her out. You wouldn't kick her out of bed for eating crackers, would you?
Please. I'm not sure. Maybe she could help me out. Rub crackers on it.
That's right.
All right. Well, look out. I sure appreciate you guys and all.
Well,
we appreciate you.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, sir.
So he kind of reminded me of something. And I got a comment from a friend that's way out in Big Sky country. He's a super friend of ours that lives here part of the time, and then out there. He said, what Joey read, that AI piece and that legacy will only get bigger as more information and bioinformation is available, people on social media, and grows, and this model can really create something weird. So
yeah, it's like digital zombies.
Yeah, sure.
There's something just uncanny, creepy about it.
It is creepy. Digital zombie. I like that. That's
well. Also, I mean, you're now getting your digital porn stars. You're getting your digital like every desire you have to see your lost, long loved dead relative, or to get your rocks off in some way, or like tickle whatever interest or itch you have. Careful to any technology that offers you that.
It's going to isolate us more and more as people.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to hit this break. Before we do, I want an update, because the last time we talked about Admiral Kent Davis, the Ivey folks, Governor Ivey's lawyers had filed for a motion to dismiss the case. And so I'm just kind of wondering what's
next. I spoke to him yesterday. I'll be with him tomorrow down in Mobile for the Southern Alabama Veterans Council. And then we'll both be, along with Cinco, on Sean Sullivan's show down Mobile midday. Here's what I found out yesterday on my intelligence dump and back brief from him. Yes, the governor, which is not a surprise. They knew they were going to ask for a dismissal, but his attorney has reviewed it and has tendered his response back to them, and feels very confident that the judge will not do that, because there's just too much there. As I told you, the judge that's been assigned is no friend of Alabama or no friend of Kay Ivey. So it's going to be an interesting ride. I think we'll see now after this. The big thing is this, Joey. Are they going to let her be deposed? So that's the big
that'd
question.
be fascinating.
Oh man, you ain't kidding.
Anyway, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
WAKA Action 8 News has brought you the River Region's first 9 p.m. news since 2007. Now you can watch Action 8 News at 9 on the Montgomery CW. Want to know where to find it? Go to Channel 22 with your antenna, DirecTV or Dish Network, Channel 14 on Charter Spectrum, Channel 7 on Ceasefire, and Channel 19 on WOW. Get your Weather Authority forecast, lace up sports coverage, and your local news. It makes a difference where you get your 9 p.m. news. Watch Action 8 News at 9 on the Montgomery CW.
Hi, this is Danny with High Caliber Gun and Pawn. November, we'll be celebrating 10 years of doing business in the River region, and Blue Water Broadcasting has been an integral part of that 10 years. High Caliber Gun and Pawn, we say we are a step above the rest, and Blue Water Broadcasting definitely is that step.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Back, final segment of the program here. Flying through today. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, I'm great, except for it's hot. Man, it's hot out here today. Talk about hot. Have you ever heard of that new cooling floor system?
No.
I haven't heard of it either. Maybe we ought to have seen it.
I knew that was a setup.
Yeah, get on it.
We could be billionaires.
Would you get out of the flooring business? I don't think so, Ray. This is
Never.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I've done this for like, 26, 27 years, something like that. I can't look up. I always look down. People always say, don't look at my house. I'm like, don't worry, I'm looking down. Don't worry about it.
You're judging the craftsmanship and everything, and people don't know that. You're judging them.
Yeah, exactly. But in all seriousness, we have tons of good sales. We just finished up with what we call the turn in Auburn, which is all the apartments. So I've got about 3 pallets of glue down.
Wow.
Which are really good for like churches, offices, stuff like that I bought on a truckload sale. So we have a really, really good buy on that while it lasts. If y'all are looking for a floor, call us 285-8117. And Joe, if you'll get to work tonight on that cooling system, I'll pitch in on it.
All right, I'll start brainstorming. Again, folks, that number, 285-8117. When you call them at 285-8117, be sure to say, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on the radio with that Joey Clark fella. Yeah, what can y'all do?
Y'all have a great day.
Appreciate it, Ray. So did we learn anything today?
We learned a lot. I think we learned that we are on the precipice of a brave new world, and it's the crazy thing is the exponential rate of change in that particularly brave new frontier. And then we learned that sometimes trust your heart, not your eyes or your head. And that's the truth.
Well, and this is why I'm rooting so much for Trump to be the peace president, because often you don't get massive societal and technological change without war. History, most of the time it's war that accelerates that.
And it already is with drones right now.
Oh, yeah. And so
AI. So
I am praying for peace so that we can kind of put a lid on like all the stuff we talked about being applied to warfare. My God.
I know, right?
Like we got nukes already. We don't need like more stuff.
Nukes might be the least of our concerns in a while.
Now, it looks like the meeting is continuing with Trump and President Zelensky, as well as many leaders there.
All of NATO is represented except for Canada. I find that quite interesting.
Because Canada's just like our
You've been running your mouth about the tariffs there, buddy. And
right. Look at that change. So before the war, current control.
No, it's not good. I think the areas in blue, a lot of that's going to be having to give up. They're not going to allow Kyiv to be bordered right up against that blue area that's claimed. But that's claimed by it's claimed by So listen, what are they going to give up, Joey? I'm looking at that. I don't know what they're going to.
You might give up because it's only a little sliver of Donetsk at this point,
right?
They might give up that, and there can kind of be a deal where you don't get all of Kherson. We'll use the river as sort of a natural border.
But I don't know if that's really going to be a tenable. They'll be
right. Well, that gets complicated in terms of infrastructure and like where everything is. I just don't see the Russians giving up where they're holding it for certain.
They're not, probably. We'll see though.
And really, the only oblast where they have it mostly but don't have all of it, to me, is Donetsk. When you look at Zaporizhzhia, when you look at Kherson,
Sumy, that whole area.
Yeah, they're barely into the Kharkiv oblast. Right. Of course, the Russians would love Odessa and Kharkiv and all these. I don't think they're getting them. No. Now, if the war continues for another year or two, they might get Kharkiv.
You know, I thought about this the other day real fast to put a finer point on it. The areas that the Russians have occupied, a lot of them are traditional Russian speakers. Yeah. So it could, even if you got it back, if you're Ukraine, could you really keep control of it? Right. Thing. So maybe it's best to start over and start anew with new construction by the West there. It could be good. So.
Let's see who this is on line one. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Sam calling from Pike County.
I knew it was you.
Yes, this is guys. Y'all got me going earlier about the hair follicle and the AI and the medical. I want the AI Viagra. Is where I'm headed with this. Okay, I want the smart decisions made, and oh gosh,
smart decisions made.
The AI Viagra.
Well, it does fit on the head.
Which one? No, you don't have to use your own. You can just remote control something else.
That's great.
That's y'all making those jokes. I had to stop. I realized, gentlemen, isn't it great? I figured the Trump and Putin, they had put the hit out on Zelensky when they was in the Beast, and he wasn't going to make it, but it looks like they're talking peace. They're really trying. So.
It does look that way, and everybody's behaving in front of the cameras for the time being.
Absolutely.
Good.
But Troy, I just wanted to tell you, you enjoy. I put out a good show. It was a good vibe. And, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in and
for suffering through it. I know.
I have. Listen, I'm beholden to Joey. He's my bloodline in this field. So there you go.
Yeah. There it is. Like I said, there's little treasures around.
Pearls of wisdom.
That's all I got, guys. I just, I got dang shit. They really look like they're trying. My sister earlier, she and I were talking, and when the little summit first started, she's like, "Why are they doing this in public? They ought to be doing that behind closed doors."
Yeah, really.
And I was like, but image is good, and also they were behind closed doors, so they did it all.
Yep.
And all right, that's all.
Hey, what'd you think about the B-2 flyover? Okay.
Man, I eat that up. I go to the air shows. Oh man, when my back was out, I was out there with a crutch crippling around. This last time I went to Maxwell.
Yeah.
It's been a little while, but
Putin looked really scared for a minute.
When he jumped. Oh yes sir. When he just because he didn't. That's right. He wasn't expecting that.
No, he was not.
And that old KGB training kicked in.
He sure did. Seat cover. He was thinking.
That's it. Absolutely. No, man. No.
Right.
Yeah. And plus, that's baffled me about the drones. When I did Army, we preached anytime we moved in a convoy, about our air cover.
Absolutely, you got to have a persistent air cover and all.
Yeah, and I just the nets and the crap they've gotten so many killed with it. Looks like with the least amount of effort. I know they're trying now.
Stay tuned on that. I know we got to go here, but I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Cinco is working on a very advanced doctrine right now for joint services on drones, and we probably can have him on, Joey, and he can talk. He's going to be going to Ukraine and all that. So more to follow.
Appreciate it, Sam.
Yeah. Thank y'all. Yeah, Ukraine is the experimental place for all the drones.
It's a laboratory, a battlefield. That's most important.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Appreciate it, Sam, and appreciate you being here today, Charlie.
Man, I love being here with you, brother. Anytime I can.
Flew by, as we said, and that's a good sign. Y'all stay tuned. Happy hour with Greg Budell and Pamela. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center. This is WACV Cusana News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's